Good. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Board of Adjustment. It's 1:30. We've got a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. Next item, minutes. Everybody look at those.
I'll make a motion to receive the minutes of July 17th, 2025.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. Sorry. All right. Now, we've got quite a few continuances and a couple of withdrawals, so pay close attention in case you are on one of those. Cindy, would you?
So we have item number 36, case number 15995 is deferred to August 21st. Item number 37, 16009 is deferred till August 21st. Item number 38, case number 15688 is deferred till September 18th. And item number 39, case number 16024 is continued indefinitely. Then I have some new requests. Item number 9, case number 16015 is continued to 8/21. Item number 10, case number 16005 is continued till September the 4th. Then we have item number 40, case number 16019 is continued till August 21st. And item number 29, case number 15968 has been withdrawn.
Okay, what was the last one again?
Item number 29, case number
29.
15968
Oh,
has been withdrawn.
okay. Do we have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the continuance requests and withdrawals as read.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Cast your votes. And if you're here on any of the cases that were continued or withdrawn, you're welcome to stay if you just want to watch the wheels go round. Do we have any requests from the public for a continuance? I don't have a consent docket, so Cindy, you want to start with the first one?
So we,
Okay, come on up so we can hear you. Well, the microphone's on. Okay, so it's my fault. Okay, is that better? Thank you. Okay, let's start over. Call the first one, please.
item number 1, case number 16008 is a request of Johnson and Associates on behalf of Roadside Retreat OKC Retreat OKC LLC for a variance to the hard surface paving regulations located at 1100 South Council Road.
Good afternoon, Mark Zidzow, Johnson & Associates, 1 East Sheridan Avenue. Before you is an application that you saw in some form at a previous hearing. There's some history here that I think is worth noting. Our firm had reached out to the staff to discuss whether or not gravel surface would be permitted for the use that was proposed. There was what seems to be miscommunication that led to us requesting the attorney who originally filed this application withdraw it because it was determined not to be needed. At the building permit stage, there was a different interpretation, and so we've reactivated this application to bring it back before you. Our developer is seeking to construct essentially a gravel site with no building to allow for the storage of tractor trailers to rent out a space to be there. I think it's important to note that immediately south of the property is an Amazon facility. If Amazon purchased this, they could turn this into a gravel storage yard for tractor trailers by right under the existing zoning that we have. The reason we're not able to is because the use unit that we would need to do that is the automobile outdoor storage use. Because that's a standalone use, the provision of the section that allows alternative paving doesn't permit that use. However, it would allow Amazon to do essentially the same thing, which is what we think makes it a bit peculiar. The last hearing, there was a lot of talk about the property being zoned R1. Everything north of the boundary is part of the property and is zoned R1. We are not proposing any of the industrial use within that boundary. We meet every other section of the zoning code. Our building permit's in, we've been granted approval on our driveway, our fencing, and everything else. So really the reason we're here is to allow an alternative surface to be built and constructed in accordance with the zoning code. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions, but we would ask for your approval.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the board?
I just have a few, Mark. And I brought this up originally, and it was the idea that it was a gravel parking lot right next to the river, right next to another pond that's just to the east of it. And I get that Amazon could do it, but Amazon knows what's in their trucks. Amazon has a fleet maintenance provision within their company to manage what's in their trucks. This is a storage yard. Nobody really knows what's in the trucks, what's going to be stored. And so the idea that it was pervious paving, to me, right next to the river and the lake, was just something that I didn't agree with.
Sure, and I'm happy to address that. So right now, we can do that use with asphalt paving. Asphalt would be worse than gravel because asphalt is going to collect it. It's going to collect all of the other chemicals that are made to make the asphalt and still push all that same sediment into the river or into that pond. The gravel actually allows whatever's there to percolate down and not be directly discharged out into the river or into the pond. So from an environmental standpoint, the gravel impervious paving is actually a better solution than the asphalt. I mean, we would pave that, we'd have a
During the
plan,
pond,
all of that
right.
water would be diverted directly into an outfall structure and it would be discharged right into that creek.
There wouldn't be any storm sewer collection that needed to be done to separate the water and the oil or anything else?
Staff can tell me differently, but I don't believe Oklahoma City has any requirement for parking lots to separate out oils and gases from the runoff. That goes directly into a pond or into the river. We think gravel is a better alternative, and I don't know if Plan OKC addresses that slightly, but I think the sustainability plan does, that more hard surface is actually less beneficial to the city than allowing alternative paving surfaces. Part of the gravel lot will also be required to put a 12-inch concrete ribbon all the way around it to keep the gravel in its place so that doesn't run into the pond or into the river.
Anything else from the board? Nobody signed up to speak on this one.
Does the current owner own this property right now, or is that contingent upon?
He owns it
Yes.
currently.
Anything else from the board? Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Nobody signed up. Ready for a motion?
Motion to approve case number 16008 for the requested variance, for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Okay, you're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 2, case number 16016 is a request of Johnson Associates on behalf of Millrose Properties Oklahoma LLC for a variance to front yard setback platted building line regulations located at 3222 Northwest 147th Terrace.
Good afternoon, Mark Zitzow again with Johnson & Associates. I think it's the board's favorite type of application that we're presenting today. As you can see on the updated aerial, this neighborhood is almost entirely built out. We have a lot that was on the elbow of a street that encroached about 8.5 inches. We've called it 9 in the application to be slightly conservative. There was an error in the field when the foundation was poured, and it wasn't caught until closing. And so we're here asking for you to help make that right so the owner can close on the house. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Nobody signed up on this one either.
No, Mark, I went by there today. 3222 is not built. So, just a,
Okay.
I couldn't tell which one it was, but 3222 is still an empty lot.
Okay, we will verify that. Mike, can I kick this to the end of the agenda and then come back with this one? I think we were told we were waiting on closing.
Okay. And again, if you want the variance prior to it getting built, that's even better.
Sure. Possibly. Let me go back and check. I was told it was for closing, but if we could just kick this to the end. I know there's a lot of people here, but that's okay. That'll give me time to confer with my client.
Okay. Or, I mean, I'll give you the variance either way.
If the board's comfortable with it,
I just wanted to make sure that that address was the right address.
these houses are, I mean, you could see they're building almost an identical house
Yeah, and it has to be, it's,
in every lot.
the cul-de-sac is where it is. They're all in alignment.
I'll note that we amended the PUD to address this, and it was because there was still a platted building line that we had to come back for the Board of Adjustment. So if the board's comfortable, we'd still ask for the variance. Visually, you're not really going to be able to tell because of the elbow.
I just don't want you to have to stay here for 3 hours or 4, whatever we're gonna do.
I appreciate that.
Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application?
I think Sarah wants to say something.
Sorry, yeah, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. I just wanted to clarify that he's not seeking a variance to the setback. The setback is established in the PUD. He's seeking a variance to the section of our zoning code that says that the platted building line would rule.
Right,
They would-
and I read that too. I wondered, if it made that much of a difference. You weren't asking for, a less setback. You were asking to basically vacate the idea that the platted line was what we were basing this on.
So in the PUD, we established the setback. We've amended the PUD to allow for the 9-foot setback to handle this, but because it's platted, when you have a difference between the two, the platted one supersedes it, and so we're varying that section of the code technically to get there, but at the end of the day, it's the
And it is just for this property,
correct, just this lot.
so.
And in our PUD revision and amendment, we noted this lot for the setback change. All the other ones you could see are there.
Ready for a motion?
All right, motion to approve case number 16016 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
It didn't come up.
It never came up. I mean, the vote came. Well, we were able to move in second, but the vote did not come up.
There we go. Now cast your votes.
Thank you, and thank you to Commissioner Noble for saving me my afternoon. I appreciate it.
So 16033, a request the City of Oklahoma City on behalf of Redbud Farm School for a variance to the 25-foot rear yard setback in the AA Agricultural District located at 15700 South Pennsylvania Avenue.
Good evening, Scott Wise, Oklahoma City Development Center Manager. So I'm here on behalf, I don't know if Ms. Duell is here. Oh, there you are, nice to see you again. So I'll go ahead and speak first and give the background from the city's standpoint, and then I'm sure Ms. Duell will want to speak. So to start, this is the property at 15700 South Penn Avenue, the Redbud Farm School, building a new structure toward the rear of their existing facility. It was discovered here toward a later date in construction that they were actually built too close to the property line. This is zoned AA, which requires a 25-foot rear yard setback, and I believe our staff or Ms. Dool's group has measured that at roughly 15 feet, so we're about 10 feet short. So to start, I'm going to say a couple of things here. We do have a clause within our municipal code, Chapter 12-59, under our building code, and it's discussing the inspections or plan review, no relief from responsibility. It says inspections and/or plan review shall not be construed to relieve or lessen the responsibility of any person, partnership, LLC, or corporation owning, operating, or erecting buildings from the minimum requirements of the code, damage to property or injury to persons by any defect in design, materials, or workmanship therein. Nor shall the city or any agent thereof be deemed to assume any such liability by reason of the inspection and/or plan review made by the chief assistants and/or plan reviewer. So the reason this section is in the code is because the codes are so extensive. Each of our building code books is about 2 inches thick, written in 17th grade legalese, and there's quite a bit to go over and to learn. It takes years for our staff to go through these and to become proficient in them. So as you can imagine, there are the occasional errors. And what that section in the municipal code does is more or less try to cover the city for things that aren't spotted. We can't be in all places at all times. We're not on the job site 24/7 to make sure that every nut and bolt is exactly as it's supposed to be. Our inspections are a snapshot in time. Now, that being said, like I said, we do about somewhere around 80,000 permits a year between building permits, trade permits, and the like. And among those, as you saw in the previous one as well, there are things that are missed. We can never account fully for the human error, the nature of human error. So anyway, I just want to speak to that. These occasions, these things do happen. And in this case, the foundation was already poured, right? I think the frame was already fully up. We're at, 80 or 90% complete on the job site, if I recall, before this was discovered. So anyway, that's all I've got. If anybody has any questions for me.
I've got a lot of people signed up. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody
No.
on the board?
I'd like to hear from them.
Okay. In the interest of time, I'm going to ask if you are supporting this application, if you'd pick a spokesperson so that I don't have 15 people say the same thing. And if you're here in opposition, would you please do the same thing? So, Mark Claiborne, you're first.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Board. My name is Mark Claiborne. I'm an attorney here in Oklahoma City, and I was contacted by a young lady, Miss Russell. Her residence is about 25 feet from the school yard where there's a chain link fence. I do have pictures for the board, if that's all right.
Yeah.
And I paperclipped them together so that each of you would have a set of pictures of the same documents. Miss Russell, as I mentioned, is a 93-year-old young lady that has lived in this residence for over 20 years with her and her husband. She still drives. She still takes care of everything that she needs to do, but when she goes to leave out of her garage, she opens up the door, and the first picture that you see in that section is what she sees backing out of her garage. She's had over 55 kids from the school into her yard. She's had, there's picnic tables on one segment of the picture where the kids congregate. They have a boom box that she has had to endure listening to during the course of the day. These are items that have been found in her yard. She has had to have her lawnmower repaired 3 times because of these type of items being in her yard. She asked me, why didn't she receive notice before the school was erected? And what I was informed is that it was permitted by the city for the school to be built. I noticed on the one board application for board adjustment, it shows a diagram where the building part is. It shows, I think one more. It shows that on the south end is where the construction part is what they're looking to modify. However, Ms. Russell lives on the north end, and what she's afraid of is that if it continues, more construction, more schooling is permitted, what will end up happening is there will be more students, there will be more boom boxes, there will be more pallets piled up against the chain link fence on her yard. Now, she's been approached many times already about selling her property, and as you can imagine, someone young, like 93 years old, don't want to move from that residence. And I would think that everybody in this room wouldn't want their mother, their aunt, to move from a residence that they've been in for over 20 years because they become accustomed to it. So we're, Ms. Russell, that is in opposition of any further construction. I don't know what is the best remedy to rectify. The young man mentioned that cement foundation has already been poured. So no one's going to break that up and remove it for Ms. Russell. But Ms. Russell is looking for some assistance from this board to help her with her residence and where she lives. And I would imagine that you probably have other people in this audience that are opposed of any further construction, probably for the same reasons themselves. And Ms. Russell wanted to make sure that I appeared before you this afternoon to let you know her concern and how she would oppose any further construction of this area.
Questions, comments from the board?
So today, we're looking at a variance to the rear yard setback.
I understand.
So that's really all that we're looking at.
And I understand it. Like I said, Ms. Russell, when I informed her, I said, well, we're kind of late in the game on this because things have already been approved and are moving forward. However, she was concerned that she wanted to make sure that her opposition of any further construction be known to the board to see what assistance that she could receive because of it.
Okay. Anything else from the board? All right. Okay, I've got some more. Let's see, that says over.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Greg Barnhart?
Hello, my name's Greg Barnhart. I live in the property directly to the east of the subject property, and I'm here today to try and preserve and protect our rights, and as I understand them, to be in the zoning code for setbacks and AA zoning. Ms. Russell's a fine young lady. I've lived there 23 years, and she's been there the entire time. All of us enjoy living in the country. That's part of the AA zoning and the setbacks that we have. Unfortunately, somebody made a mistake when they drew this and missed a critical thing. The city got it approved. I called the city and notified them as soon as the sticks stood up, as soon as they framed it. They've known about this and they've continued to work on it. They were working on it today. The electricians have been there for a week wiring it. When this was first discovered to be an error and they were notified, they didn't stop. They just kept building. I want to preserve my rights as a property adjacent to this one, as the Russells do, as the rest of our neighbors do. As I understand the zoning and the setback, it's to protect both sides of the property line from each other. And unfortunately, I think this hardship if this variance were to be approved, this hardship would be shifted from the applicant to the rest of the neighbors. Because this is it's a huge structure. I submitted an email. I assume everybody got it and had a chance to read it, and included some pictures in that as well. I didn't bring handouts to hand out. I assumed everybody got that.
It's in the packet, yeah.
Yes. So that's really all I have. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Anything?
I
Go
have a few
ahead.
questions for you. So right now, it's looking like it's about a 12-foot variance that they're asking for to their west property, or east property line, your west property line?
Yes. I
And
believe it to be
it's
closer to 15 feet, but
Okay.
I have not measured it, so.
15 feet, so they're 10 foot from the property line?
Yes,
And your home is probably 200 feet from that property line?
at least.
And you said it would be, that the rest of the neighborhood would also be impacted by this?
That building could be seen from 6 different properties. I've talked to most of them, and nobody likes it, that we can see it, where it's at.
Okay, so in
It's
order...
right up against the property line.
Yeah, 10 foot away from the property line. So in order to alleviate that, is there anything that they could do for you as far as landscape it further, a taller fence? I'm just trying to see what maybe we could do to alleviate some of the site. Because it's a single-story building
Right.
with,
I included a picture of it. I mean, it's a big open face that just faces our front door and our garage. Every time we leave, that's
and
exactly
it
what
has
we
some
see.
landscaping between you and them, but it's not totally landscaped
No,
across the back.
it's insignificant landscape in between. It's mostly flat ground.
That's why I was asking if there was something there.
I honestly hadn't considered trying to come up with alternatives or methods to shield or hide that.
And I say that because I'm in favor of granting the variance, but I want it to be as least impactful to you as it can be.
Right.
Because we do see these a lot. The structure is there, it's built, and so,
Well, I by no means think it was done maliciously or intentfully, but I'm trying to preserve
right.
our
No, and
aesthetic as well.
And I get it. I'm not always in favor of granting a variance, especially if there's protests to it, whether it's a 25-foot setback or a 10-foot setback. So,
And much to the point that this gentleman made, I don't know what constitutes all of this as far as permanent structures or other structures, because there are many pens for animals within 25 feet of Ms. Russell's yard. There's all kinds of structures there that aren't shown on any of this, or were shown in the plans that were submitted to be approved, which were also seen in the photos that I presented.
and I'll say it again, today, we're looking at that
Right.
25-foot rear setback.
Right. And that's the one I'm mostly opposed to, because that's the one that seems foreboding to us. Every time we go outside, there's this big white building. It's a far cry from what it was.
And that's why I'm trying to get you to give me something back that you're looking for, that we can, meet in the middle on this to get where both sides can be somewhat happy with the situation.
I suppose I would be open to something if we could shield that some way with landscaping trees or something like that, because really the issue is
The site.
site. I'm not trying to deny them a structure or what they do on their property at all. It's how that impacts our side.
Yep.
So, I don't know, but I appreciate the suggestion.
Okay.
Anything else from the board? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Several of these look like they're support. A couple of them I can't tell, so David Dull? Come on up.
My name's David Dooley.
Dooley,
I'm the wife of, or I'm the husband. Let me try that again. I'm the husband of Aaron. So my wife and I own the property that's in question. I'd like to just read, as opposed to trying to give any kind of statement here. We've requested this variance for a new classroom building. We obviously request a favorable ruling. We've been working towards this dream of having this school and having students learn both in a traditional and a non-traditional way for almost 20 years. We started when my youngest daughter was born. The school provides education both indoors and outdoors in an environment that teaches students about nature. We require them to take care of animals, understand where they get their food, including gathering eggs, planting gardens, having pollinator flower gardens. They have to learn how to respect the environment and so much more. We believe that this supports both our community and it also lives up to the reason that this property was zoned AA. It is truly an agricultural school. We've grown our school beyond its current capacities because other people in our cities want the same thing for their children. As a result, we started a building project over 18 months ago. We've gone through several revisions of our plans because of city requirements. We've submitted all of our plans to the city. Every one of them has been reviewed and either amended per their request or they have been approved. The last one coming from the fire marshal telling us what we have to do in putting in a road access so that the building can be built where it's currently located. Once the plans were fully approved, we started the process of getting our building built just to find out weeks into the project that our location is 13 feet. It's literally 13 feet too close to the property line, just because of the AA regulations. Any other regulations, any other zoning, I believe that this would be well within the requirements. It'd be 10 feet as the setback, is my understanding of all other property lines outside of AA. Had the city advised us of the issue prior to us having actual plumbing, concrete framing, and half of a constructed storm shelter, we could have easily moved the building the 13 feet. There's approximately 30 feet between the current structure and the front of this new building. 30 feet that we could have utilized to pull that back where it should have been. It wasn't until after our neighbors to the east filed this grievance with the city that we were made aware of the issue. The city has been out on several occasions to look at the plotting and the planning for this. Never has it been brought to our attention that this was an issue prior to that. I was able to read the letter that our neighbors wrote. We're aware, and the indication that they weren't aware that the building was close to the property line until the walls were put up. To be clear, the fence between our two properties right now is a wire T-post built fence. It is totally visible. It's not a stockade fence. You can see from their house to our property line. The only reason that this view was obstructed is because they had 3 to 4 foot tall grass in the 15-foot road easement between our property and theirs. They weren't able to see the concreting going in. They weren't able to see the plumbing going in. They weren't able to see the stem walls going in for the storm shelter. None of that was visible by their property until they mowed it approximately a month ago. And this is how far we are into the season before they actually mowed the property. Again, had that part been maintained, this would have been discovered by them almost 2 months ago when we started the foundation work. Further, the letter indicated that we're attempting to circumvent this panel's due process by asking for forgiveness rather than permission. We've been asking the city for permission to build this building for approximately 18 months. 18 months that we've submitted our plans, submitted our designs, asked whether this was okay or not. And all along the way, the city has told us this was fine. Again, had we had any idea, we wouldn't have continued to build the building. Had we known that it just needed to be moved 13 feet, we would have moved it 13 feet. We have 105 students this year. We've increased our count by a significant margin because we thought that this was going to be completed. We have, I think, 14 teachers. If I could, is it permitted to have them stand up? If you're with Redbud,
Yeah.
could you stand up? These are just some
Okay.
of the people that we have that this board has the ability to impact one way or another. And we understand that. We're not asking for 25 feet. We're asking for 13. That's all we want. We want 13 feet so that these students can come to school, so that they can get the education that their parents really want them to have, so that we can provide the education we believe God has told us to provide. Again, we would ask for a favorable decision. Thank you.
Anything from the board?
Just a couple of questions for you, if you would. You heard me ask the neighbor about what it would take for them.
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to participate, to do something to alleviate some of the visual aspects of the...
Certainly.
In the 12 feet.
We've attempted to cooperate with our neighbors since the day that we purchased this property. The 15-foot easement, we sold them that 15-foot easement approximately 4 years ago after they filed a lawsuit against us for it. So we've attempted to cooperate this entire time with having the school there. I understand the grievance that she brings. We can do all kinds of things to try to assist her. We've worked on cleaning the area up in the last month to make sure it looks presentable. As far as the back is concerned, we're certainly willing to work towards something that suits all interest. This is by far not the biggest building in this area. The house that we purchased originally is about 5,000 square feet, about 5,000 square feet. The building we're building now is about 5,000 square feet. I guarantee you that there are some of the sheds and storage areas that are on neighboring properties that are at least that big, if not bigger. So we're willing to work with them and come up with some type of solution. The fence that's there right now, we had installed, so we don't have any problem installing other things. Obviously, there's a cost associated, but or some type of shrubbery, or
Yeah.
I mean, something.
And really-
It is. I mean, it's moderately tall because it's a building, but
Right. For me, I would like to see a 6-foot site-proof fence across the east property line, your east property line, their west, and landscape trees planted on 25-foot centers across the back of the building.
okay.
Anything else?
Anything else from the
Or
board?
towards that end.
I just have a question though. As far as the plans themselves, when they were submitted, did they have that 25-foot setback, and then whoever installed it built it?
No.
No, the platting has always for the structure's always been where it's at. We like that.
So it was
design. The
built per the
design was
plan.
drawn up that way and approved that way.
Right. And I'll say this for the city of Oklahoma City and the permitting desk itself, they see thousands and thousands of plans. It is, the onus is on the owner, the architect, the engineer to know the zoning code and to design it accordingly. And I think we heard that in the beginning, why they have the ordinance written the way it is. And that being said, you're not the first person to come here ask for a variance, so
Right.
know that. And that's why I just wanted to try to get all the neighbors to at least understand and then, get them in an agreement to find a positive outcome for this.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like 6 feet is tall enough?
I mean, it's 6 to 8. 8 foot is the maximum fence height that you could put in there without a variance. But I think 6 foot fence, it is probably high enough. In this application, with the grades and the things that are there already, and then if you put the trees over the top of that,
Trees are great during the summer, but during the winter, it's going to still
Yeah,
see through.
we could do evergreens if we wanted to. I mean, you could do that, but you're only seeing the roof at that point, and so the white part of the building is gone, it's just the black. And again, it's probably 200 feet between this house and this fence.
Okay. Anything else from the board?
Yeah, I just have one other question. On the photos that were submitted to the resident just next to this school, did you say you did some work in the last month?
Clean up the north side.
To clean up the north side.
Okay, so these items are no longer there?
I haven't seen
Alex.
those photos, but I would assume that there's several of them that are not. I don't know. I couldn't.
Those were taken within the last week.
Okay. And again, that's just to be neighborly, right? To clean up the area.
And for the new year, obviously, we're starting school next week, so we.
There just looks to be some pallets.
I can say this photo, all of that's gone. All of this is gone.
And maybe even
This is gone.
move the
The benches are their lunch benches, and they're still there. I mean, that's where they eat lunch every day.
And this is not a requirement. I don't feel comfortable trying to tether it to this variance. I think what Don said earlier is appropriate. It's altogether separate. But if there is another location where the tables can be moved, just to be more accommodating to her having been there, I think that would go a long way with just some of the neighbors.
And she's been a great neighbor. We've had many discussions with her and her son. Her son's always out there mowing. He's the one that does a lot of their maintenance and lawn stuff, and so I've had a lot of conversations with him. We're certainly willing. We want to be good neighbors. There's no doubt about that. We want to be. I mean, it's a farm school. It's also a Christian education. We want to uphold what the standards of Christ are and be good neighbors. So we're certainly willing to move things around and help accommodate for.
I guess my concern.
And we'll certainly discuss the music and the noise levels and
Well,
stuff
I think
like that.
that was the big thing that I kind of want to key on, and was the music, how loud it is, because you have a chain link fence versus maybe some sort of wooden fence along that line, or that line in between the two of you. With items getting into their yard, if they've had to replace their lawnmower a couple different times, I think that definitely does not look great, and what can we do to help that whole neighborhood?
And let me just say this on that point, is that there's probably 10,000 neighbors backing up to an elementary school or a junior high school or a high school in this city. So that part of it is just life.
Yeah. And again, we'll have those conversations
Right,
with our
and I want you
students
to
and
be
stuff.
neighborly as you can, but to legislate that is.
I'll say the
An
noise
ask.
complaints, my guess is we have special events on occasion. The music's not playing every day. It's special occasion events. We had a back to school night the other day, and we brought our boombox out and played music while the students were getting to know their teachers. So we try to keep it to, and again, we don't have to do that. We don't have to play music. That's, as far as balls and stuff going into her yard, they're kids. They kick the ball, and it goes where it goes. They're no more in control of their bodies sometimes than anything else. So we can help with those issues, but it is their playground. We don't want her machine to be destroyed. No more than I would want my lawnmower to be destroyed.
Anything else? Is there anybody who signed up to speak in support of the application that has something different or something to add to what David said? You're up.
My name is Carla Willis. I'm the mother of a student at Redbud Farm School. And I just want to speak on my behalf. I suffer PTSD. My family experienced a very negative experience at my child's previous school. We were very traumatized by it. And we happened to find Redbud Farm School and decided to give it a try. My family is very animal-oriented. We have goats and chickens and horses, and that's one thing that attracted us to Redbud Farm School. And my child has thrived there. She's excelled. Her reading scores have improved by over 400% in 1 year. She has friends. She took part in an internship this summer. This is more than a school for us. It's a community. And it really honestly breaks my heart to know that we have neighbors that are unhappy with us. And I really would like to see more community. I would like to see how we can somehow make this work for everybody. Because if we don't have this school, I don't know where we're going to go. This is our third school, and my child is going into the 6th grade. And it impacts our mental health for her to be able to come to Redbud. She's not just getting an education. She is gaining confidence, self-esteem, friendship. She's learning about love and acceptance. And I just feel like we can foster that with our children and the neighbors somehow to work this out. You know, I don't know if the kids need to take some time to go pick up trash at the neighbor's house. I heard a mention of some trees, you know, that in the winter they don't look so great. Well, what about evergreens or something that stays green in the winter time for a privacy hedge? You know, there's some really beautiful, tall, evergreen type trees. And these kids will plant them. They get out there and they move rocks. My daughter, she picked up hay bales and moved them. You know, they're building strength, they're building skills. My daughter knows the names of tools because she helps build structures at the school. But this school has helped my mental health. Before this past school year, I wasn't really able to socialize much at all. And because of the opportunity to be involved at this school, I am now able to volunteer there. And I feel like part of the community there. So I want to thank you for allowing us to be here. And I see this as an opportunity for growth for us all. This is an opportunity for my child to experience a legal process and how our government works. And it's also an opportunity for us to learn to work together to make things better for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything from the board? There are only two other folks signed up, Catherine and Chris Verba. And
Hi, I'm Chris Verba. This is my daughter, Catherine Verba. This is my wife, yeah, what she said. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. As I understand, I don't have a lot of information about this, but yeah, trees, paint can really blend a building in the back. 10 feet with a building like that isn't going to make a difference if it had to be moved or something like that. As I understand, if they, for some reason it wasn't granted, and they had to move the building, tear it down, whatever, this would bankrupt the school. And all this would go away. And also, as I understand, the line that they're talking about that is too close to is a new line that was changed because they were sued for 15 feet of property there that I think you mentioned earlier that they had to sell to him. So there's, you know, he already gained 15 feet there, and now we're, 10 feet within the lines anyway. I'm very nervous, so that's all. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Hello, I am Catherine Verba. I am a student at Redbud Farm School. I've been going to this school for 1 year, about to be 2 years at the time of me speaking about this. This school is extremely important to me. All the teachers are very helpful and trustworthy, along with many of the students. I'm very thankful this school exists. It has helped me grow, be more responsible, learn, and also learn discipline, along with much more. If this school did not exist, I, in fact, and many others would be in different places, might not have as many friends, etc. They have helped me and many other people get through things emotionally and physically. I see this school as a very good opportunity for others to go to school and learn. I personally love this school and feel extremely glad that I got the opportunity to go to this school. Even though we don't have much funding or that many field trips, which is it is still the perfect school for me and many others. The teachers make learning fun and memorable in a good way, of course. So please give this school a chance to grow and help others along with giving us a middle school. This second part is written by somebody else. Education is very important to grow, which is why this school is needed. This school is more than just a place of education. It's a place of support and care. Many children see school as a safe place and a place to socialize, which is exactly why the community, including the students, need this new middle school. This school is unique and teaches the students responsibility. Not only do the students have vital subjects such as math and science, but they also have access to farm where they are taught about gardening. The school should continue being built as it gives students a great opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you.
thank you. Anything from the board?
Questions?
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. I don't have anybody else signed up to speak. Is there anybody who wants to address the board on this application? Okay. Somebody want to try a motion?
I'd like to know from Mr. Claiborne, what has your client suggested? What kind of relief is she seeking through this process?
Well, and I did not mention about how high the building structure is. From her residence, she can see the building itself. And I understand the concerns of the school and what they're doing and how they're helping the community. I think that's great. But I think, though, with Ms. Russell being where she is, it just infringes on her. And you've heard from other neighbors where it causes some concerns for them as well. And I understand that it's life, but there's a way to do life for the betterment of everyone, to where everyone succeeds and everyone does well. The chain link fence is not a sightly item from her yard, from her garage, her seeing that. The picnic tables being as close as they are to the fence is not in the best interest of Ms. Russell. She's had, and I know agricultural, she's had goats, pigs, chickens, all of that in her yard. And I'm not sure of the best way to do that, but you made a suggestion about the tables being moved from the fence. That is a start. I didn't know if you were making a suggestion that the trees, the shrubbery would go all around all of the neighbors in that area to where they would not be able to visibly see. Because the thought is, there have been a lot of people that wanted to buy Ms. Russell's property, but she doesn't want to move, and she shouldn't have to. But her value of her property should not go down at all because of there being a structure there. So,
But you do understand that the structure on the north side is within all the zoning codes, right? You do understand that?
I've been made aware of that, and I understand that, but it's just like this. Ms. Russell would have contested that if she would have been given the opportunity in the beginning.
But to contest what?
Well, the structure.
It's a legal building.
I understand that, and it's been permitted by the board. I understand that, but I'm just saying that she would have rather it not been. That's all I'm saying. Property owners get to do what they want to do. However, the thought is that they should just take in consideration those that are around them. That's all. Sorry.
No, that's where I was going, and I did ask, the protestants what would help alleviate that. So,
well,
again,
I think we're past that point. Cement has been poured.
And right, but your grievance and the 25-foot setback are two totally separate things.
And this was Mrs. Russell's only avenue at this point to make it known of her concerns. That's all.
Yep. Anything else from the board?
Yeah, I just have a question. Scott, I just want to clarify that. So the site plan also that they submitted, they built it according to that site plan? They didn't deviate from that at all?
Correct. Scott Wise, Development Center Manager. Yeah, the plans were approved showing the diminished setback distance that was not caught on plan review, nor was it caught at the time of foundation inspection.
Okay. And I'll echo what Don said. It's rare. I mean, I think you guys catch most of these, so I do think this is a unique situation. I think this is a situation that warrants a variance. That being said, I want to be very considerate of some of the concerns of other neighbors.
And if I may, toward any other concerns, we do want to state there is no building code violation. There's no fire separation distance issue here. This is a strictly zoning matter. So.
Anything else from the board?
Is there also a chain link fence, I guess, along the north part, the north boundary? Mm-hmm. Is that what it is? And is the neighbor immediately to the north, have they protested in any way?
There's nothing to protest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one to the north.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
A neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a question. So how far is the neighbor to the north? How far is her front door or whatever it is that faces the chain link fence from the fence?
come up to the podium so we can get it recorded.
Ms. Cleta's garage faces to the south, so her front faces towards Pennsylvania. The garage faces to the south. It's a 3-car garage. She's a car and a half length, enough to back out of her garage, make a turn towards the front. So she's maybe 15, 20 feet from the fence line.
Hopefully 25.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe 20 feet from the fence line is my guess.
Thank you.
Side yard setback's 25 too,
Sorry,
right?
yeah, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. The side yard setback in AA is 25 feet, so she should be 25 feet at least.
Okay. Anything else from the board? Are we ready for a motion?
I guess my thing is I realize we're not trying to address that. We're only looking at the rear setback here. But while we're here, if we can help the neighbor to the north, obviously she's in opposition or at least seeking some sort of help somehow. The only thing I can think of, since we're just trying to address the rear setback here, is potentially having the school reach out to her. Is there some sort of fence that you guys can build for her so that she does not get things into her yard, so that we can maybe put a barrier between the noise and her home?
We discussed with her son just recently, and he's talking about taking the chain link fence, according to her son, had been damaged in one of the tornadoes. So it's being held up with T-post right now. That's the only way that it's currently standing. So we've already discussed with them that that fence is going to eventually come down, and we're going to put up something that looks nicer. In an effort to preserve what looks AA-ish, we would prefer not to have a stockade fence. We'd prefer to have something that looks more natural than that. But we've got some fencing that we've put up around our current animal structures that we think looks really nice, and that was the discussion, is that they were going to take that down, we were going to put that up.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be stockade, and I don't know that it would. As far as the sound is concerned, we can turn the sound off, Braden. Yeah, we can just not play the music. Again, that's maybe 4 times a year that we have those events where we bring a boombox out, and we do it so that the kids can dance and play.
And I've got no problem. I mean, if you let them know, hey, we're gonna have a party, and we're gonna have a gathering at our house this weekend, and probably won't play a boombox or anything like that. But just trying to be mindful of it. If it's consistent every day, they're running around during recess, that's completely different than playing the boombox 4 times a year. And I think that's where I'm trying to, I don't know, what she's experiencing, so I can't put myself in her shoes to even to know what to ask you, right? So that's the biggest thing, is just talking to her and figuring out why things are getting into her yard, all right? So definitely would want you to reach out to her and just try to see what you can do to help her, with that.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely do that. We'll do that. Yeah, I mean, again, she's the nicest lady on the planet. Before her husband passed, before her husband passed, I mean, we had conversations with him. We check on her. Her garage was open yesterday night when we were over there doing some work, and we called her son just to make sure she was okay. And so we're trying to be as cordial as we can with everybody.
Right.
And we agree, that it should be in the benefit of all people. But yeah, as far as the building being built, I get it. It's a building. But the question isn't whether we're allowed to build the building. It's the question is, can we build the building where it's at, or did we need to move it 15 feet closer to her house?
Right.
And so the building was going to, at some point, go up, right? Because you guys were going to approve us to build a building. It's just where you were going to allow us to do that.
And she probably, appreciates the extra 15 feet, right? That
You go
to the
away,
east, right?
yeah.
But now it's
So-
going to the detriment to the neighbor to the east.
Yeah.
As far as that, I'm going to let you figure out what requirements we should make on that part.
I'm
I
ready
think
to make
we're
a
ready
motion.
for a motion.
Thanks, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case number 16033 on the basis that it meets the statutory requirement for the variance to a 25-foot rear yard setback in the AA Agriculture District, with the addition of a 6-foot-tall site-proof fence along the east property line, and 2-foot caliper trees planted on 5-foot centers.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved with conditions. Ready?
We have item number 4, case number 16025 is a request of GNS Signs on behalf of Lee Dewey Corporation for a variance for the prohibition of signs in the right-of-way located at 608 Northwest 9th Street.
Hello, my name is Cameron Gleason. I'm with GNS Sign Services located at 1634 Southeast 23rd Street. To start off, this building in particular hasn't really had much identification to it, but over the years, SSM has seen an increase in just public traffic to that building, so much so that they have undergone construction on both the north and south entrance to further accommodate the public into that building. So our proposal is to include some identification lower to the road and up on the sky bridge that goes over the street to help identify the building better for the public. This site is in particular more difficult to see. As you can see in the photo, there's about 8-10 foot grade difference between the street level and the entrance to that building. And they've always had issues in getting traffic to divert into that ramp into the building. So our variance is for these 2 signs over the sky bridge and then a lower elevation non-illuminated letter set to further identify the building. And I'd be open to any questions that you may have.
Okay. Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
And the DDC did approve this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
On July 17th, that went.
Anything else?
I'm in favor of it. It's wayfinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thoughts are that it'll just make life easier for everybody traveling here because, yeah, this is an appropriate, I mean, a sign is needed. So I'm in complete support.
We ready for a motion then?
Motion to approve case number 16025 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 5, case number 16026 is a request of GNS Signs on behalf of Land Investment LLC for a variance to sign regulations located at 9600 Broadway Extension.
I'm Jordan Armstrong, GNS Signs. So the intention of these signs are to ease the ability for the public to see who that hospital is with, or so they know what hospital they're going to. Do y'all have any questions on it?
Go ahead.
Anyone
Anyone
sign
from the
up?
board? Nobody signed up.
It looks like the variance is 172 square feet on one of the signs and 93 square feet on the other. And it's just to like add the Integris, right?
Correct.
So they know where they're going. Again, wayfinding, it's quite a distance back from Broadway Extension, and the signs aren't that much bigger.
Nobody signed up on this one. Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application? Ready for a motion?
All right, motion to approve case number 16026 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 6, case number 16028 is a request of Fast Signs of Lawton on behalf of McDonald's USA LLC for variance to sign regulations located at 4208 Southwestern Avenue.
Hi, I'm Matthew with Fast Signs of Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm here on behalf of McDonald's. They're requesting a taller pole sign. The area where they are building, the height restriction is 18 feet tall. They would like to install a 35-foot tall sign. The competitors have the taller signs, and they feel that putting the taller sign in would help them with bringing customers to the site.
Do you want to sign up to speak?
Not on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application?
So I know that we approved an additional sign height for a new build just up the street on the corner, a maximum of 30 foot. And looking at the Wendy's and the 7-Eleven, they all appear to be 30 feet tall.
Okay, okay.
So I'd be good with 30 feet as a maximum height. I don't know if the sign can be built that way or not, but
Yeah, we have not built anything yet, as we're waiting to see what we can do. So
just to match the height of the other signs in the area, I think that's kind of important for the aesthetics of it. And in the sign code, the sign code overreaches actually, in my belief, and that's why you're here anyway.
Okay.
But it's so that we can look at each one individually.
Okay, absolutely. I think they'll go with that.
Okay. There's a 7-Eleven sign and something else.
A Wendy's and a new Starbucks that we approved about
Starbucks, okay.
a few months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was 30 foot on the Starbucks sign?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 30 feet is too high, but if we've
Well, as I
got
was
30
looking at
foot
these,
on-
I think they're really close to 30 feet.
Okay.
And the Wendy's is almost identical.
Anything else from the board? Ready for a motion?
We approved the Starbucks at 30 feet also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to circumvent what the city was trying to correct here.
And the floodgates are open at this point. It's
Right, so how do we bring it back in? I mean, you
Well,
left the toothpaste out, right? So it's
Right,
trying
yeah.
hard to put it back in the bottle.
Yeah. Which, if it's McDonald's sign and the Wendy's sign is 30 feet already, and the 7-Eleven sign is 30 feet already, it at least will match in height. And they're all on the same basic route. And they're hard corners. These are hard corners. The McDonald's is in the mid-block, but.
You good?
I can be on board.
Okay. All right, motion to approve case number 16028 for the purposes that it meets statutory requirements for the requested variance with the modification that the maximum height shall be 30 feet. Is that correct? All right.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Item number 7, case number 16029, a request of Fast Signs of Lawton on behalf of Net Lease Realty Incorporated for a variance to sign regulations at 4500 Northwest 23rd.
This is essentially the same thing at a different location. This used to be a Walgreens. They had 2 large pole signs there. Both the pole signs looked like they were suspect of having an issue, so they went ahead and tore those down. They want to just put back up one sign. The signs are up there, they said were 43 foot tall, so they want to match one pole sign in place of those 2 at 43 feet tall.
Do you know how long ago they removed those signs, the pole signs?
I don't think it's been that long ago.
Anyone sign up to speak?
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
So for me, in looking at this corner, there's a Wendy's also. There's a Windsor Hills shopping center sign. There's an automotive, Progression Automotive sign, and none of them are even 30 feet tall. And the old signs at the CVS, they're not 43 feet tall.
Oh, they're
see them
not?
on Google Earth.
Okay.
They're not 43.
This is information I got from the construction company.
Yeah. I'm in the same place, 30-foot maximum.
30 foot? Okay.
And I'm just out of curiosity, so the code, the updated sign code does not allow for replacement of the sign with the same size, or is it a use change that triggers it?
Sarah Welch, Planning Department. So the old CVS on this property was removed. The new McDonald's, I believe, is under construction. The sign cabinets have been removed, but the sign structures are still there. So that would fall under non-conforming, and they would be able to reuse those 2 signs that were on each frontage at the corner for the CVS. Because your property goes all the way to the corner, correct?
Yeah, and they said they were going to try to reuse the poles, but they had some structural issues, so they went ahead and tore them out. But
Okay,
ideally,
well,
they would have put on top of there.
I
guess.
just happened to be at Crest last night, and so the signs, the poles are still there as of last night. So if those are being, I guess that would be the question, whether those are intended to be removed by the applicant.
So does the code, if they remove those, then they lose that legal non-conforming status?
My interpretation of the new sign code's non-conforming is that if those are removed, then you would comply with the new sign code. You can reuse them, and as long as they're in a substantial location, you can replace they could put their own brand on the existing sign cabinets, but once they're removed, then.
I think that was their intent, but the poles are rusting out so bad they're afraid that it would be an issue.
I think they're changing the location a little bit now, probably.
They want to just go to one pole, and I think they were going to maybe strategically put it more up in the corner instead of 2 signs on each road.
Mm-hmm. The Windsor Hills shopping center sign's really close to 30 feet too. So.
Okay. Ready for a motion?
All right. Motion to approve case number 16029 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance with the modification that the height limit shall be adjusted down to 30 feet.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 8, case number 16002, is a request of Lakeisha L. Vick for a variance to the minimum lot size for a manufactured mobile home in the R1 single family located at 11861 Northeast 39th Street.
So this variance request.
Give us your name and address for the record, please.
Lakeisha Lewis Vick.
Okay,
Okay, ready? All right.
go ahead.
Okay. This variance request is to ask for approval to place a manufactured home on my property, which is less than 5 acres, which is the requirement at this time. The use of this manufactured home would be for single-family occupancy of myself and my 2 children. The land space of my property is .7 acres. This property was completely wooded in its entirety from the time that my father purchased it back in the 1970s until 2023 when I had it cleared. The property upgrade will not only will allow for the increase in the value of my property, but also increase the value of neighboring properties. The proposed land improvement will also add to the usability and overall appeal and appearance of the community. Additionally, the upgrade would allow for increase in utility utilization in the area and have a positive impact on the area's tax revenue. The approval of this request would allow for continued support of the intended land use pattern in the area, which is residential, and there would be no negative impact that I've identified to the community due to this land improvement.
Anything from the board? Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application?
So this property is less than a 1/4 acre
Yes, sir.
or 3/4 acre. Can you get water and sewer here?
Yes, sir. I've already had the water table surveyed, and it would be a well because it's well water.
Right.
And there would be a septic tank able to be placed. I've already had someone come out to
And the
look at
DEQ's
that.
approved them?
Yes,
Because the minimum lot size would have to be 3/4 or greater.
yes. And when they came out to do all of that, I had to determine where the well and the septic system would be so that there's no backwash or contamination. So that's been addressed. Also, OG&E would be able to place a pole, and it's not a big, huge manufactured home.
You said it's on, excuse me, you said it's on well and septic?
Yes, sir.
I don't necessarily have a problem with the variance, but I don't know that you can get a DEQ approval without municipal water and be under 3/4 of an acre.
That was told to me by the people that were going to place the home, that it could be approved. And when I had the well, Yes, sir.
And you really need to find that out because there's been other people here who've been told the exact same thing by the Mobile Home Sales Company, and it's not true, and it will get you into a bad spot.
Okay.
And you as the owner will be stuck holding the bag.
Okay.
Owning a place where you can't put it on the property and still having to pay for it. So that's why, and again, for me, I mean, if you own the lot next door to you, then you would meet the criteria for the septic, for the water, and I could get behind, allowing it. Because there are mobile homes in this area on, most of them probably on 2 lots, not on 1. But they are over there. And we've actually, I think, approved one before in this
Was it the
neighborhood.
medical hardship, or was it?
I don't remember, but
There was one that was 2 spaces over from where I am.
yeah, I think you're right, on the closer to the corner. I do remember that.
You want to do conditional?
Conditional to DEQ.
Yeah, DEQ approval. Would you accept that if we did approve this with the condition that DEQ did approve a
Yes, sir.
water well and the septic?
Yes, sir.
Because, I want to protect you. I don't
Of
want to get
course.
you into a bad spot. Sarah, anything on that?
No, just that that should in the future water or sewer ever be available, that condition doesn't apply.
Right. Yeah, so domestic water reduces the amount of space you would need to
Okay,
get a septic,
understood.
and then if there's sewer provided, obviously you hook up to the sewer and the
Right.
water.
Ready for a motion?
Legal, good, with the condition?
As long as you make that a condition of the motion, all of what you just said.
Yes. All right, motion to approve case number 16002 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance with the condition that the applicant acquires DEQ approval on the property.
For water and sewer.
For water and sewer.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 9 was continued. Item number 10 was continued. So we're at item number 11. 023 is an application by Lana Evans of Denmar Investments to allow home sharing located at 8705 South Youngs Boulevard.
There we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Sutter. I'm representing Denmar Investments. I've been before you 2 other times on this property.
Anything?
Anyone?
Nobody signed up. Does anyone want to address the board on this application?
It's a timely renewal, so be renewed. 3-bedroom, maximum of 6 guests.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to add quiet hours to the application.
Pardon me?
I'd like to add the quiet hours to the
Yes.
application from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yes, that's in force currently.
And then I'd like to make it a maximum of 4 vehicles
Yes, sir.
with no on-street parking.
Right. There's plenty of room in the driveway for 4 vehicles plus a 2-car garage.
Okay, you're good with that?
Could I ask for a 3-year
And
extension?
a 3-year term.
Thank you.
Okay.
You said no on-street during quiet hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, motion to approve case number 16023 for the purposes that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. To 8 a.m., maximum number of vehicles of 4, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
And for a term of 3 years. Thank you.
I'll still second.
Motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you very much.
Item number 12, case number 15817 is an application to allow home sharing for Bayo M. Doan and Juan Fung to allow home sharing at 9317 Northwest 118th Terrace.
Applicant here? Let's roll it to the end of the docket.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we've done that before.
Yes, we have. I'm not expecting them to show up. I'm in favor of denying the application.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'll second that.
Well, we'll let Herbert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's in charge.
I know. This is what I get for missing a meeting, right? So, is this the one we denied before?
Yes, and then we pushed it. We didn't deny it, we pushed it because they were operating illegally.
That's right. Okay. All right, motion to deny case number 15817.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny. They're denied. Okay.
Item number 13, I'm sorry. Case number 16020 is an application by Caden and Daisy to allow home sharing located at 1324 Northwest 10th Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. My name is Caden Norton. I'm here on behalf of myself and my wife, Daisha, requesting renewal for a special exemption hearing for our property on 1324 Northwest 10th. Don't have anything significant to add. We love Oklahoma City, love getting to come to visit, and allowing home sharing sort of helps us be able to do that.
Nobody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay. Questions, comments?
Just a couple of
anything?
questions. The number of vehicles on the property, you can put 2 in the backyard?
Yeah, we have
There's not a driveway in the front, right?
there's a
Trying to remember.
driveway that goes into the backyard. So yeah.
But
and
off
then
the
it's-
side?
Yes, yeah, off the, not on
So
10th.
maximum number of vehicles,
Is 2, we could,
okay.
yeah.
And we approved 7 maximum guests last time, do you remember?
Yes, yep.
3 beds.
We have, 2 queens, a full, and the bunk bed is a full and a twin on top, so.
And you're requesting a 2-year extension? Would you like a 3?
3 would be great. I didn't know that was an option. That would be amazing.
How many bathrooms?
2 bathrooms.
Okay. No on-street parking during quiet hours? Quiet hours from 9 to 8?
Yeah, he's got 7, but we can change it to 9 to 8 on the quiet hours. Are
Sure.
you good with that?
Yep, that works.
Okay. Anyone signed up?
No.
Yep. All right, then I'll make a motion to approve case number 16020 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions to the modifications that quiet hours are from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., maximum number of vehicles to be 2, a 3-year term, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
approved.
it.
Mr. Chair, before we go forward, I'd like to know what the findings were on number 12. I heard conversation, but in the event they choose to appeal, it would be good to know what your findings were.
For me, the lack of attendance, for one. And then the other were the protests to the application.
Protest, okay.
Before, yeah.
Just in case, thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Chair.
Now I'm leaving. I've got another meeting, so Don, you're in charge.
Nobody told me this.
Oh,
I can do it from here. Yeah.
I didn't realize that's an option. Just kidding.
We're on item number 14, case number 16022, is an application by James Condry to allow lodging home sharing at 512 Northwest 45th Street.
Good afternoon. My name's Clay Condry, and I'm the homeowner.
Could you tell us a little bit about the application?
Yeah, this is a house that I remodeled a few years ago. I've had several Airbnbs in the area in the past with, I've jumped between short-term rentals, Airbnb. The majority of my real estate portfolio is contract for deeds, but I don't really manage the Airbnbs. And this is the first time that this house has been considered for an Airbnb. I'm in the process of trying to get organized with, this is the second management company that I've used, and they're pretty experienced, and we're trying to get everything compliant and, make sure that all of the houses are managed properly. I'm actually currently living in this house. It's 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's a mid-century modern house. My neighbors are great. I've got a rental to the east of me, a rental on the corner, and then just a regular homeowner that's on the west. Anyway, it's a nice neighborhood. It's a quiet neighborhood. I think with the amount of parking that I have and the quiet hours, I don't see there being any issues as far as any disturbances with the neighbors. But I'm in contact with built another house over on 44th Street that we got a variance for about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. So I've lived in the area, and everybody over there knows how to get a hold of me. So if there's any issues, they'll call me.
Nobody had signed up to speak on this case. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on this case? Nope. Just a couple of questions from me then on it. It's a 2-bedroom home, 1 bath?
2-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
2-bedroom, 2.5 bath?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're asking for 5 guests? You have 5 beds?
No, I've got 2 kings and then a pull-out couch. I mean, we could do less. I just, the applications, let's do a bunch of them. We've got parking for one in the garage, and then I've got to turn in, similar to the house on 44th Street that you guys permitted, so we can fit, 4 cars on property. But, this won't be a house that, it's small, modern. It'll probably just be, people in town, nurses. I doubt large families are going to want to rent the house.
And so I'd like to make the adjustment just for the first time to 4 as a maximum number. Quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah, that'd be great.
A 1-year term, and then a maximum number of vehicles to be 3.
Sure.
Anything else?
I think that's good. It's got 2 plus 1. You get the pull-out couch. I don't mind giving the 5, honestly. That's been our standard. So, all right. So we're gonna leave the maximum number of guests at 3 or at 5. Sorry. So,
Okay.
all right. Then I'll make a motion. No one signed up, right?
Right.
All right. Motion to approve case number 16022 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that this will be for a term of 1 year, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., no on-street parking during quiet hours, and 3 maximum vehicles.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. And you're approved.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Case number 16021 is an application by James Condrey to allow home sharing located at 1204 Northwest 37th Street.
Start with your name and address again.
Sure. My name is Clay Condrey. I'm the owner of the property at 1204 Northwest 37th Street. This is kind of in the same neighborhood, essentially. I bought this house from the gentleman who's actually managing my houses now. He's got a pretty good management company, Kevin Mears. And it was licensed when I bought it. And the use, it kind of like the one I'm in right now that we just talked about, has bounced back and forth between longer-term rentals and short-term rentals. And it's obviously fallen out of compliance. So my goal is to get it compliant and licensed for the Airbnb. And it's, Kevin has had this house for, it has been an Airbnb. I don't think he's had any issues neighbor-wise or anything like that. It's a nice house.
Well, somebody called a code violation in on it,
Yeah.
so the neighbors are aware of it. And I do have somebody signed up to speak.
Okay.
And it's, as far as the size of this house, it's a 3-bedroom,
3-bedroom, 1 bath.
1 bath. Okay. You want to hear from him?
Yeah.
Hillary Jones?
Hello, my name's Hillary Jones, and I live directly next to the property in question at 1200 Northwest 37th Street. And I actually knew the prior owners and wasn't ever made aware of any. I don't know if they were ever up to code. This is my first time getting notice of anything like this. And I'm here to oppose the application for a special exception. Oklahoma City zoning laws require a special exception be granted only if it's in harmony with the spirit and intent of the zoning ordinance and not harmful to the neighborhood or detrimental to the public welfare. Additionally, a short-term rental may only be granted a special exception if it meets specific criteria, including licensing, safety, compliance, and compatibility with surrounding residential use. This property specifically has operated without a valid special exception for years, specifically since mid of 2019, and it has repeatedly violated the spirit of the ordinance. There have been multiple serious disturbances and ongoing safety concerns. Most notably, on September 28, 2019, a large party was hosted by law students renting the property through Airbnb. The gathering continued into the early morning hours, and around 6 a.m., an unknown individual believed to be from the party returned with a drill, broke into the property, and robbed the property and occupants while they were asleep inside. This happened just outside my bedroom window. This incident was significant enough to be reported by the local news, and I have a copy of the footage with me today if anyone would like to view it. Since then, there have been several additional parties hosted by short-term renters, as confirmed through text messages exchanged between me and the prior property owners. I have even had Airbnb guests knock on my door asking for marijuana. These are not isolated occurrences. They represent a clear and consistent pattern of nuisance activity that has eroded the safety and peace of this block. Had I known earlier that the property lacked the required special exception to legally operate as an Airbnb, I would have filed complaints long ago. Yet, even after a code violation was issued in May of this year, the property has continued to operate illegally and remains an active short-term rental as of today. This home is located in just a block away, in a quiet residential area surrounded on both sides by historic preservation districts. In fact, it's just a block away from both Putnam Heights and Crown Heights. Our neighborhood is actively working towards achieving historic preservation status ourselves. The presence of a transient rental next door undermines that effort. It introduces commercial use into a block that otherwise consists of stable owner-occupied homes. This is simply not in harmony with the zoning goals for this area. Additionally, it's not in my letter, but I would like to add, I get texts and/or phone calls every single day from lowballers trying to purchase my home. I literally had to change my voicemail to say that if you're calling to inquire about purchasing my home, it's not for sale. I still get text messages from the same people every month. I've had to block numbers. And I fear it will just get worse if Airbnbs are allowed in this neighborhood. The short-term rental also sits just one block from a brand new, newly renovated public park, which is frequented by families and children. The park is to the south of the property, and the Boys and Girls Club is also located 1 block away. The constant turnover of unvetted guests raises serious concerns for the safety and welfare of residents and children who use these public spaces. According to studies published in peer-reviewed journals such as Regional Science and Urban Economics, short-term rentals are associated with increased crime, particularly in urban areas, and the National Association of Renters reports that STRs can have a negative impact on nearby property values due to their disruptive nature. These concerns are not hypothetical. They have already materialized in this case. The property has failed to meet the legal requirements outlined in Section 9350.38.1. It is not the host primary residence. It has operated for years without obtaining the proper license or approvals, nor has it demonstrated compliance with safety code requirements. These are not minor technicalities. They are legal standards designed to protect the public and myself. In summary, the continued operation of this short-term rental is not in harmony with the character of the neighborhood. It has created real safety concerns, a loss of stability, and diminished quality of life for surrounding residents. It does not meet the legal standard required for a special exception, and I respectfully ask the board to deny this request. Thank you. And there are text messages attached showing conversations with me and the prior owner regarding parties. They sold the house, so I have not been able to text anyone regarding recent parties or anything either.
Anything from the board? And I would suggest you do share contact information. Sure. For sure.
The text messages that you added in your attachment, these are with the prior owner?
Yes, it's the girlfriend of the prior owner, Kevin. They're now married. I'm not sure when, I can't remember when they got married. I knew her from college, and her boyfriend bought the house and she moved in. And so whenever there were disturbances, I would message her. But they sold it. I didn't even know they sold it until I think around 2022 when I messaged her about another disturbance, and she told me that they had sold the property. I think to a property management group or something.
And I've got a question for the applicant. When did you, if you'll come back up to the mic, when did you purchase the property?
Either 22 or 23.
It's into the microphone, thanks.
Either in 22 or 23.
So have you been operating this as a short-term rental
Kevin
since then?
continued. Yeah, I mean, Kevin puts stuff on multiple platforms. So the owner-operator sold it to me and then continued. But when I bought it, I wasn't aware of any issues, and it was licensed.
Well, it wasn't licensed.
It was never licensed?
That's a huge issue. There's
So-
no record that we have of a short-term special exception or licensing.
So when I purchased the house, I purchased it as a licensed, well, I thought a licensed, fully functioning business.
Yeah, well, you'd have to come see us every year
Sure.
on the renewal and that. So I'll say this, and for me, and past history on these is that I have not approved them solely based on operating illegally, knowingly operating illegally, and asked the applicant to return in, a set amount of time.
Sure.
I think last time they were operating 6 months and we asked them to come back in 6 months, right? So I don't think that we've set a standard. I don't think we're giving guidance as to how long to deny one that's been operating illegally. I don't think it should be a bar to deny in perpetuity, but I also don't really have an idea.
And it really does concern me that you bought it from a property manager who then you're now using as your property manager who was operating it illegally.
Yeah, it concerns me as well.
Because it sounds, and I'm just looking at the next application, that one also had a code violation for being operated without a home sharing license. So I mean, we'll address that one next, but
right.
I'm inclined that if it's been operating illegally to deny, but I'm not sure for how long. There's got to be some consequence.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like there's overlap with some of these issues, and I guess the lines are a little blurred because the previous owner was now acting as property manager to some degree, but you're saying that you don't know exactly when you purchased the property?
I sold an asset and I used 1031, and it was either in 22 or 23, I can't remember.
I mean, and
My suggestion for you would be to long-term lease this, and then you don't have to deal with us. But I would like to hear from you guys on what you think one at a time.
Yeah, it meets all of the elements in which I would deny an application. I was just trying to get to the bottom of the date because I don't want the applicant paying for the mistakes of a previous owner. But regardless, there's operating without the special exception, and then there's
operating without the license either.
Yeah, and then it's been poorly managed in my opinion, and that's the part where it's like, well, I don't know where the transition period is from the previous ownership to the new ownership, but I don't like the ideas of sticking, homeowners having to endure with bad management. And this sound like going through the text messages, this sounds like bad management.
Let me offer some additional information. I have before me here a warranty deed that was dated 7/12 of 2022. Is that when you purchased the property?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yes, some of these issues take place after that, and I don't know if was it Hillary? Mm-hmm. If she may have, I think she said she didn't know when the ownership changed, but it was clear she was communicating with the contact that she had already had about some of those issues. And if you read the text messages, it looks like they were maybe relaying those concerns, when she brought to their attention about a party happening back to them.
So it sounds like ownership changed, but the operations, the illegal operations continued uninterrupted. That's what it's sounding like to me. Is that correct? I mean, you own the property, but the previous owner still is the manager.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
I guess I want to help people that if they come and get denied, when can they reapply, right? If their goal is to short-term rental a home, I mean, I don't think we can put a prohibition on length that you can't reapply within a certain time frame, correct? No. Okay.
But there is some, either statutory or from an ordinance, there's a natural a period of time that has to elapse before you can refile the same application, is there not?
They could file it whenever they'd like, but then if they are within that period of time that either by statute, by code provision, or by what this board rules, if they applied before that time, that would be in the staff report, and you would be able to point to that and say, no, you're still within this time, so you're not eligible to apply.
I know we've done it before where we've stipulated it, so I'm comfortable doing that. I would throw out a year, enough time for it. It looks like we could do more than a year.
Right.
We could do several years based on what we have, but I would say a year as a long-term lease, and then we could reconsider it after a year.
Do we have anything from code enforcement about this, about them operating without being
I think that
supervised?
Ms. Hillary said she wasn't aware of the process that she could voice.
So she would be the only complaining party?
Yeah.
That's what I'm,
Yeah.
of this year?
Yes.
That said operating without a license.
Okay, so there you are. That's at least a starting point of reference, of record.
I'm inclined to set a period of a year to reapply.
Sarah, can we defer this case for 12 months to keep the application open?
The challenge is that we don't have a public meeting calendar that goes past the beginning of January, so you'd probably need to continue it to the last published meeting deadline.
I could be swayed, but I would just deny it. And
okay.
I think a reapplication would be appropriate given the reason we're denying it.
I agree. So, all right, so we're going to make a motion to deny. I think you got caught unaware of what the process looks like. I think that the city itself is trying to clean up unlicensed Airbnbs operating. And you got caught in that. So what I'm going to say is a motion at least a year from today. A year from today, you can come back and reapply for a short-term rental. So motion to deny case number 16021. Do I have to put a reason? I do. A finding, okay, a finding that the short-term rental was, or that property was being already advertised and used as a short-term rental prior to the application being filed, and that we can reconsider this property a year from today.
Would you like to add language regarding the code violation from this year?
Yeah, and noting that there was a code violation filed in May of 2025.
No short-term lease, no license.
Yeah, no short-term lease, no license.
Yeah, special exception.
I'll second.
Right, and then also, just for your knowledge, that the City of Oklahoma City is going to implement a software system that will be able to track the operation of all short-term leases. And so my suggestion to you would be to not short-term lease this during
Sure.
that time. I have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes.
Item number 16, case number 16017 is an application by Jackson Hollow Investments LLC to allow home sharing at 2908 Somerset Place.
My name's Clay Condry. I'm the owner of the property at 2908 Somerset Place.
Can you tell us a little bit about this property?
Yeah, I've owned this property and the property next door for 5 years, I believe. At one point, it was licensed for home share. It has also been, at times, longer term and at times shorter term. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's off of May Avenue between Wilshire and Grand.
Nobody had signed up to speak on this property, this application. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application?
So I noticed in the packet that there was a, on one of the two Somersets, there was a violation, but I'm not sure if that's to one of these two houses or if it was to the house you guys gave me a variance for a couple months ago. I've been out of state, and that house I got a variance for and hadn't got the license yet on 913 Northwest 44th. So I'm thinking that that might be.
Well,
Okay.
we'll have staff look up that violation.
In the permit portal, a code violation for operating without a license was issued in May of 2024, but you were issued a 2-year term, and it expired in 2023.
Okay, so that was for this property.
Yes, and then you submitted a new application in 2025.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll have another question for you on that 913 Northwest 44th house. I'm just behind getting the license after I got the variance. Is operating without a license going to be a mark against the renewal of that one, even though I already had the variance?
Only if we know about it.
Was it on the agenda for today?
And it's not on the agenda today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get compliant. I mean, I'm doing, what I need to do to get everything so we don't have any issues like Hillary's.
And you've owned this property since the 2021 application?
Yes.
Was there any reason why that you didn't re-up the application for the special exception and the licensing on these?
Just being unorganized.
Okay.
I mean-
Are you property managing this one yourself?
No, I mean, I'm going to probably change. I mean, I had no insight with Hillary's issues. And I mean, I bought this house from the guy managing it. So I'm going to have a pretty serious discussion with him about kind of transparency. And again, the home share stuff isn't the majority of kind of my investments. And I want to keep the good ones and get compliant and stay on top of them. And then the ones that, we're having issues with, cut them.
You purchased this from the same individual?
No. No, I bought these all. None of the only house I bought from Kevin was the house next to Hillary.
So you have a different property manager for this one?
No, it's the same property manager, but it could be
Sold the
changing.
property.
Oh, okay. I have in front of me a warranty deed dated September 20 of 2023. Is that when you purchased this property?
No, I just
That's a
I transferred from another entity that I had for tax purposes.
I see.
So it went from, I believe, J.C. Condry LLC to Jackson Hall Investments, but I'm the only owner of both those entities.
I see. Yes, that is what this deed relates to. Thank you for that clarification.
I guess my issue on this one is the fact that you knew you had to get a special exception. You knew you had to get a license, but you've been lapsed for 2 years. That's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. Does that pretty much sum it?
That's correct. Again, my goal here is to get compliant, and get organized.
I'm inclined to make the same motion as I did on the prior one.
Yeah, I appreciate the willingness to get things in compliance. I also feel the need to be balanced with some of the other operators that, have come before us and complained that they feel like they have to jump through hoops for problems that they didn't help create. And so those guys have been compliant, and I don't know that I could justify just saying, oh, it's no big deal, when we've got a lot of folks that have been operating in a good way that have had to now kind of jump through some hoops, given the new changes that we've made. So I'm on board with that.
All right. I'm going to make a motion to deny case number 16017 for a period of 1 year from today, on the basis that it's been operating without a license and a special exception during the last few years.
And a code violation.
And a code violation.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Item number 17, case number 16018 is an application by James Condry of Jackson Hollow Investments to allow home sharing at 2904 Somerset Place.
It's case number 18.
No, 17?
Oh, sorry.
18.
Yeah. It's just 6018.
Yeah. And before you tell us about this application, we don't see that this has been operating without a license. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, but we don't see that. I don't have any knowledge that it has been operating without a license. So as long as it hasn't, I am willing to.
I appreciate that.
There are no code violations. There was a special exception granted for a 2-year term in August of 2021. That's the information that we have.
Appreciate it. My name's Clay Condry. I'm the owner of the property at 2904 Somerset Place. I've owned this property either through this entity or other entities that I've controlled since 2020. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's got plenty of parking.
No one has signed up to speak on this. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application? No? Anything from the board? I just have a couple of questions on it, and it's a 3-bedroom. How many baths?
2.
2 bath. The driveway can handle 2 cars. I'd like to make an adjustment to the quiet hours from 10 p.m. or from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. And for the term would be 1 year.
Okay.
Anything else? Nope, just asking.
No.
Yep.
All right, no, like 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. How many cars?
2.
2 cars. And 1 year.
Yep.
And 7 people.
Yep.
I'm guessing you have a pull-out couch in this one?
3-bedroom, 2-bath. Yeah, there is a pull-out couch in the living room.
Okay. All right, I will then make a motion to approve case number 16018 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that this will be for a term of 1 year, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 2-car max, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Thank you.
Item number 18, case number 16014 is an application by Ann Cheslick on behalf of Paseo 12 LLC to allow home sharing at 2801 North Walker Avenue, number 3. And perhaps the applicant can advise of how it went yesterday at the Historic Preservation, because I wasn't notified.
Start with your name and address.
My name is Anna Cheslick, and I'm coming on behalf of 2801 North Walker Avenue. I'm filing for a special exception, It's an arbitrage. It's actually owned by John Reed of Paseo 12. I was just applying for an Airbnb license. I currently am using the apartment for long-term rentals for FAA students through the federal government, and I just wanted a license as kind of like a backup if there was a gap in between students. So the majority of the guests that will be staying 3 to 4 months, and I don't even know if I'll actually Airbnb it at all. It just depends. But I wanted to have a license just in case. I did want to mention on my application, I realized I had indicated there was parking behind the building. That was an error. There's no parking behind the building, so the parking is going to have to be on Northwest 27th Street. The parking lot I indicated actually belongs to a different apartment building, so that was my mistake.
And this went to HP, is that what you said?
It was scheduled to be presented to them yesterday.
Do you know if this property, if there was an application for this property at the Historical Preservation Committee?
Yes, they had it yesterday, and they said it was recommended to move forward with the Board of Adjustment today.
Okay.
Sorry, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. I want to confirm that also, that recommended for approval, but we might need to talk about the parking in the new ordinance. Because with home sharing, there is one parking space required, and we did receive a phone call earlier asking about where the guests would park. So I would need the board to have that discussion.
Okay. And just a question, because there's not a dedicated spot, would that be an additional variance to it or just a addition to the application? Because it's written in the ordinance that one parking spot, I believe it's one parking spot per bedroom.
Yeah, I was actually told by the owner that that was his parking, or that I could park there. I assumed it was his parking space, and upon further investigation, I found out it's not his, so.
I'm sorry to bring it up, and we actually have, this actually hasn't come up yet, I don't think, but with a new application, so not a timely renewal, so a brand-new application, our new ordinance, which was has been in effect for probably less than a year, does say that the home sharing short-term rental accommodation shall provide one off-street parking space for every 4 occupants. Now, they're asking for 2, but I would still interpret that to mean a minimum of 1 required, and that would not be a condition that the board could waive. So
in order for her to do it, to get that waived, there would have to be a variance to the ordinance?
I believe it would. If there's not one, at least one off-street parking space per every 4 applicants.
Okay. Can we defer this application for her to maybe figure out an avenue or?
Absolutely. Would you, sorry to make you sit here all day, but I think that's probably an important factor, just especially considering it's the Paseo.
I agree.
Parking's tough, so.
Okay. Well, I would just say, with my FAA students, they're going to have to park on 27th Street, and if there's a tenant there, they would have to park on 27th Street.
Yeah,
So.
and so we don't make a determination on
No,
long
I
terms?
know, I understand.
We get it. I think I might have helped write that ordinance maybe too, and so anyway, sorry.
Good job. All right, so we're going to continue this for 2 weeks.
Yes, can you give me Cliff's notes on what I need to do on my end?
All right, so we're going to motion to continue case number 16014 to the August 2021 meeting. Does that work with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second the continuance.
You have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes, and so you can get with Ms. Welch and she will help you.
I'm sorry.
So you can get with the staff and they'll help you
Gotcha. Okay, I appreciate it.
navigate the where you need to get to make the application change.
All right, thank you.
You're the very first one that we've had this happen, so.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I didn't know about the ordinance, but I want to be honest about it, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 19, case number 16003 is an application by Susan Owens of iHomes LLC to allow home sharing, 2404 Thornberry Lane.
Hi, my name is Tara Billiou, and I'm here on behalf of iHomes and Susan Owens. 2404 Thornberry Lane is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story, plenty of parking. It has at least room for 4 cars.
Nobody had signed up to speak on this application. Was there anyone from the audience who'd like to speak on this application? There isn't anyone anything from the board? It's a 3-bedroom. How many baths?
It has 2 full baths and a half bath downstairs.
2.5. You're asking for 6 people maximum?
I think previous, no, yes, on this property is. We have, there's a king bed and 2 queen beds, so yeah, 6 people. There's a sofa, but we don't really, I just put max 6, because that would be best.
So this had been short-term leased with this
Was
exception
previous.
prior?
Yeah.
Number of vehicles, 4.
It has it's kind of in a cul-de-sac, so it has a strange driveway, so there is room for almost 3 on one side and 2 on the other, and it has a 2-car garage, so there's plenty of parking in the driveway.
And I was just looking for quiet hours. Would you accept quiet hours to be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.? Anything else?
How many cars? 5?
Yeah, I mean, there's
That's
6
gonna be a
people
lot, 6
maximum.
people.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd go 4.
Okay. 4 cars, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 1 year.
Yep.
No evidence that it was operating during that time. So,
Right, and so I would suggest you come back timely on the renewal, and you will get a longer term, and you won't have to
Just to keep it going,
keep
even
it
if,
going,
okay,
right? And then you won't have to pay the application fee so often.
perfect.
all right, motion to approve case number 16003 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that this will be for a term of 1 year, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., and 4-car maximum.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Thank you.
Item number 20, case number 16004, an application by Susan Owens of iHomes LLC to allow home sharing, 2504 Thornberry Lane.
I'm Tara Billiou. I'm representing iHomes. This is 2504 Thornberry Lane. It's just a little bit further down the street, same neighborhood. It's the exact same floor plan except flip-flops. The driveway's on the opposite side. 2 queen bedrooms upstairs with a bathroom. The king is downstairs with also a half bath. That driveway's a little smaller, but 4 cars would still fit there. There is parking on the street, but not ideal.
Same deal.
Yeah, nobody has signed up to speak on this application. Would anyone from the audience like to speak on this application? None. So same requirements for this or the other one with the quiet hours and the term. And the number of vehicles.
Ready? All right. Motion to approve case number 16004 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the modifications that quiet hours are from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4-car maximum, and for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Thank you.
Item number 21, case number 16006, an application by Susan Owens of iHomes to allow home sharing at 1421 Shadow Terrace.
Tara Billiou with iHomes. This property is at 1421 Shadow Terrace. It's a very small street, as you can see. We own several properties. iHomes built several of those properties, and it was back in 2018, and honestly, we couldn't sell them, so we rented them. This property is currently a long-term rental, and honestly, I'm applying for it because of the new 10% rule. In the event that I can't rent one of those properties, at least I have one that I can Airbnb. So that's really why I'm here. It's a long-term rental, and I don't intend to Airbnb it anytime soon, but I want to have that option, so I wanted to get it in place before someone else on this street that does own a different property applies.
Okay, nobody has signed up to speak. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application? Nope. Anything from the board?
Same requirements.
Good. Are you good with the same requirements?
Absolutely.
3-bedroom, maximum number of guests 6. Quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay, I do want to say on the parking, I don't know that I can do 4. That driveway, when you pull up, there's room for 2, but it kind of slants, so you can't really park a car there. But there is a side oh, hang on. I'm so sorry. That's the
Different
next one.
property.
So
Yeah,
sorry.
this is a 3-car garage. You could
This
put
is a
6 in
huge
there.
driveway. It has room for like probably 7 or 8 cars, honestly.
Yeah.
So yes.
So 4 would be good.
Yes, 4 is fine. I'm so sorry.
And the term, again, for a year?
Yes.
First application.
All right, motion to approve case number 16006 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Item number 22, case number 16007 is an application by Eric and Susan Owens to allow home sharing located at 10344 Exeter Avenue.
This is 1344 Exeter Avenue. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is the house that has a strange driveway, so you kind of have to pull up in it. So really, there's only room for 2, maybe 3 cars in the driveway. It's hard to tell from that, but it is much more slanted than it looks like in that picture. So parking a 3rd and 4th car, if it was a small compact car, so I don't know how y'all address that. But you can see down the side of that, the street that is to the west, gosh, I can't remember the name of that street right now, but that has no houses that face that street. It's all side yards. So I think parking, on Danbury Place. So to the west of that, right there on the corner, there would be room for parking, and I don't think that it would be an issue because it's not in front of anyone's home. But there is enough room for 2 cars plus the garage in the driveway.
Nobody signed up to speak on this. Anyone from the audience want to speak on this?
I think my concern's still parking on the side. I don't want to impede traffic. So if we can use the garage, they are allowed to use the garage.
Yes, and it is a double garage.
All right.
It's an older home, so those garages tend to be a little bit deeper and bigger, so, I mean, it could accommodate most vehicles, I would
So
think.
are you thinking a 3-car max, or you want 4? If we can use the garage.
I'd say 4 when we just say the garage is 2.
Okay. Everything else the same as the others?
It's 1-year term.
Yeah.
It had a special exception, but it expired.
Yes.
All right. And I'll make a motion to approve case number 16007 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. for a term of 1 year, 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. And vote when available.
I want to say 16007, but missed my chance.
Thank you, guys, I appreciate
It's
it.
approved.
Thank you.
Item number 23, case number 15990 is an application by Libby Ross on behalf of Christopher Mostrons to allow home sharing located at 1930 Northwest 13th Street.
Hello, Libby Ross. Going going to talk about 1930 Northwest 13th. This house has been recently purchased by the homeowner and undergoing lots and lots of renovations and whatnot. And I just wanted to make sure that we were able to get our special exception, just knowing there's a rush. So want to be ahead of the curve here.
Nobody had signed up to speak. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application? None. Anything from the board?
How many, you've got, is it 5 bedrooms?
So this is, I actually am a little embarrassed to say this. I don't know if we were doing the front or the back house on this. Misty was gonna come speak for you today, and she had a family emergency. So there was 2 houses. The front bedroom, the front house is a 3-bedroom, and then the back is a 2-bedroom, but we're only doing 1 today. So I think that I don't know if she wanted to do that for that front one or the back one. Is it set as, it's set as a 5-bedroom? I was looking for the paperwork. I do apologize.
Yeah, I mean, it says 5 rooms being offered.
Okay.
5 rooms have a
So we're looking
queen
at
or
a 3
bigger.
probably the 3-2 right now is what we're
Yeah, that's
putting
what
in.
I'd suggest, just do the house. It says that there's a permit pending on the
The ADU.
the ADU still, so I would just do the main house.
Okay,
and-
yep. Yep, so a 3-2 is what it needs to be on there.
Yeah, so maximum number of guests to be 6.
6, yeah.
The vehicles,
So it'll be all the parking is all in the back. There's a large parking. I don't know if it will show on this because he's completely redone the back into just a parking area. The long drive, that doesn't look like that at all anymore. There's a long fence that goes along and then,
yeah, with it being 6 guest max, 4 cars.
yeah, I think 4 on this house. It's, because one bedroom is going to be set up for kids.
Quiet hours, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
I think she's got 8 to 8. Even better.
Okay.
So we'll leave it at that. Okay.
And the term would be
1 year.
1 year. Ready for a motion?
Yep. Motion to approve case number 15990 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the modification that the maximum number of guests shall be 6, 4-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And you're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 24, case number 15991 is an application by Bryce Louders to allow home sharing located at 2319 Northwest 17th Street.
Hello, I'm actually Scotty Hernandez. I'm here on behalf of Bryce for 2319 Northwest 17th, asking for a special exception for home sharing.
Can you tell us a little bit about the application?
Yeah, so it is a 4-bed, 3 full bath home on 2 levels. The lower level has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, both intended to have 2 king beds, and then upstairs there's 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. One of those is going to have single bunk beds. I actually brought, I don't know if this was submitted to you guys, I don't believe it was, but I brought a picture of how it would be laid out. So the 2 bedrooms upstairs would have bunk beds in them to accommodate a total of 13 guests. Then the driveway is large enough to accommodate 4 full-size vehicles, so there wouldn't be any off-street parking. And then quiet hours are 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
You were the only person to sign up on this, so does there anyone from the audience want to speak on this case? There's one.
My name's Rand Leonard with RML Properties and RML Construction. I actually didn't even know they were on the agenda today till I was speaking to Bryce right before I came in here. We did all the work on the property. I was just going to confirm his layout of the beds is accurate. Great people to work with. I've been in front of you guys 12 times already. Great client, great people to work with. They'll be happy to meet any adjustments you all have. But anyway, that's it.
Anything from the board?
Do you have a property manager?
No, I'm his realtor.
Is he going to manage it himself?
Yes.
Okay. I would just pass the message along to him that he can either consider getting a property manager or make sure that he has sufficient capacity. I believe this is one that we continued previously, and so I'm not at all intending for his absence to be an indictment on his ability to manage the property, but just something that I want to point out just in case he comes back for a renewal and faces a couple of protesters.
Yeah.
Your ordinance says
2 per bed plus 2 is what the ordinance says.
We've been plus 1.
If accommodated, but on the first application, we've been plus 1 as a board.
Which I'm for.
So 9 guests.
Yeah. So what we're discussing is a maximum number of guests with a 8-bedroom. How many? 4-bedroom, sorry. 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. That, for me, and in the past, what I've always done would be 2 per bedroom plus 1 on the first application.
Okay.
So that would be a maximum of 9.
Okay.
How many cars?
You can fit 4 cars in the driveway. Is the garage available?
It's a game room, so no.
So no.
There's
Okay.
plenty of off-street parking though for 4.
All right.
Yeah.
4 cars. We generally try to keep parking off the street, just especially I'm looking at the map. I just don't want to.
Mid-block.
I don't want it to block the traffic. So no on-street parking is what I'm going to put during the quiet hours. So not during the day, but overnight. We
Right.
definitely do not want vehicles on the street itself.
So the way that, can I show you guys this? The way that he has the upstairs ones, there is a bed to accommodate 1 person for a total of 10, without including the trundle bed that they intended to use. Is there any way that you guys would consider 10 folks instead of 9? I mean, I don't think theoretically it would be nice to fill all 10 people, but in my experience renting an Airbnb, I don't always have a bed or a person for every bed. And I don't think that it would be unreasonable thinking that you can fit at least 4 people per car, and 4 cars on the property, there's enough actual beds to sleep 10 people.
And I understand what you're saying on that. For me, it's a single-family home in the middle of a neighborhood, mid-block. This house, if it was just being occupied by a family, it'd be pressed to have 7 people in it, 8 people at the most. So that's why when I look at this and I think about it, that's what I think about for the harmony of the neighborhood. And it's the first year also, which is, to see how it'll operate, how it'll be managed, and if it can be done in harmony with the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's why I'm at 9. You might be able to convince them.
I'm going to stick with 9 also, but I mean, definitely can reconsider next year. Then anything else?
Anything else?
No. All right, then I'll make a motion to approve case number 15991 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception, with the modification that maximum number of guests shall be 9, quiet hours shall be 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Thank you.
Item number 25, case number 16010 is an application by Merrick DeBose and Anna DeBose to allow home sharing located 1621 Northeast 39th Street.
Start with your name and address and tell us a
My
little bit.
name is Mark Dobos, and this is about the property on Northeast 39, 1621. This is like a 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom with 1-car garage. It has been, we are asking for 3 years on the board approval.
It looks like the special exception is going to expire, the current one, on the 15th of this month. And it says that you have not applied for a license for this property.
Because it's the same tenant. It's just that she didn't move out when I applied for the special exception. We did it in a case that we will have to do it, but we have the same person for extending and extending. So it's just not operating without license. It's just the same person.
Right, but I believe you still have to get a short-term license within the time frame. So you'll need to apply for one.
I will do it.
You can make it
No.
subject to obtaining, I mean, you want to put a condition on
we
it?
could put a condition on it.
Now, I guess the question is, do we do 1 or 3 or? I think it's timely in the renewal.
I'm okay with doing 3 years.
On the exception, yeah. Nobody had signed up to speak. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application? Seeing none, just...
What hours?
Yep.
How many vehicles?
So on this property, how many vehicles can park in the drive?
We can do 3 vehicles, but usually because it's a garage and a long driveway.
Okay, 3 at the most.
Okay. And
In quiet hours, I don't think they were listed.
yeah, I put 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Quiet hours
on
from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.?
Sure.
Okay. In the term of 3 years.
Yeah, that's what he's got on his app, so. All right, so I will make a motion to approve case number 16010 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception, subject to the applicant obtaining a home sharing license. With the modifications to the application that quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 3-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours, and a term of 3 years.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, but when available. And it passes.
Item number 26, case number 16011 is an application by Merrick and Anna DeBose to allow home sharing located at 2540 Northwest 16th Street.
Start with your name again and address.
My name is Mark Dobos, and this is about the property 2540 Northwest 16. This is 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, about 22 to 2,400 square feet, and garage on the back, and places to park on the front. There is no possibility of street parking because of 16th Street. So, if we could do, like you said, 5 times 2 plus 1, that would be great.
You have 5 bedrooms,
I have 5 bedrooms.
and this is a renewal. We could do 5 times 2 plus 2. I'm okay with going to the 12.
Can you accommodate 12 people, bed-wise?
Very easy, very easy.
Okay. We can go to 12 on the maximum number. The number of vehicles,
Well, we have double car garage and a long driveway, but just like probably 5, 6 is the total that I would see feasible over there.
and we'll just state that there's no on-street parking.
No, there's no possibility.
Can't do, right, but-
Yes.
Are we doing 5 cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
You okay with 5 cars?
5 vehicles?
That's fine. That'll be plenty,
Yep, and quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
of course.
And this is a first renewal?
Yep, timely.
Okay. And I will make a motion to approve case number 16011 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the modifications that the applicant has stated that it is 5 bedrooms, 5-car maximum, no on-street parking, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. And I think that's it. For a term of 3 years. Sorry.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Oh, Elena, we broke it.
We're doing so good.
Locked. Refresh. We could do a voice vote.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do a voice vote. Mr. Udi?
Yes.
You got it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Please vote.
I
We have
really
motion
want to
and a
do a
second.
voice vote.
Right. Vote when available.
There we go.
Thank
You're
you very
approved,
much.
thanks.
It is
Item number
way too
27,
late.
case number 16012 is an application by Jonathan Davis on behalf of Series 2, a series of 3D Cribs LLC, to allow home sharing at 1014 Hanger Drive.
That does not look like Jonathan.
All right, Libby Ross for 1014 Hanger Drive on behalf of Jonathan Davis. This is a renewal. We've just now been operating a year, so hoping to get that 3-year here.
No one has signed up to speak. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this item? Seeing none, anything from the board?
Can you, is it a 3-2 or is it a 2-2 or 2-1?
It is a 2.25 or something.
Okay, so we're good on bathrooms to occupants. Okay. All right, so quiet hours modification, just to keep the same with everyone else, 9 to 8. We don't have vehicles. How many cars can it fit?
It just has the one carport.
One car. Okay. And 3 years. Are we good for ready for motion?
Yep.
All right, correct me if I get this wrong, but motion to approve case number 16012 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions. This shall be for a term of 3 years, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., one car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And you're approved.
All right, thank you, guys.
Item number 28, case number 16013 is an application by Gugul Joel De Silva to allow home sharing at 3212 Castle Rock Road.
Hello, Rand Leonard with RML Properties, RML Construction for Ms. Jasova. Commend you on pronunciation of her name. I never got it right. I call her Aya, so, but she goes by. Anyway, yeah, just here to answer any questions on her behalf. I tried to advise her a little bit on the application. I know she asked for a 3-year, but she understands 1 year for a new application is usually the way to go. And anyway.
Anyone signed up on this one?
There is somebody signed up, and there's also some written protests in this. I'm sure you've seen them.
I was made aware of the emails, yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, but I'm happy to answer any questions or communicate.
Okay, first, and I'd like to see if Barbara Crooks.
This is not on my bucket list, but it is now. Okay.
Start with your name and address.
Okay, my name is Barbara Crooks, and I live at 3224 Castle Rock Road. I've lived there for almost 20 years. And I'm one of the longest homeowners. The house in question is on the south side of Castle Rock. On the north side of Castle Rock, it's all duplexes. And there are probably 4 of the duplexes that the owner lives in and rents out the other side. So therefore, we have a lot of coming and going with those rental properties. We have a heavy traffic street already because there are apartments on Memorial Road and people come through our street off of May Avenue to go down Castle Rock to get into their end of the apartment. So we have a lot of traffic. There are no parking signs on either side of the street. And we try to, the homeowners do respect that. A lot of the rental properties don't. And this house in question, so far, they've had a couple of weekends where there's been cars in the street. And I'm just, several homeowners, I believe, have written letters opposing this, and I'm the only one that sat through this to give my voice.
Thank you. And you did say that, does it appear to be operating as a short-term lease right now?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Because every weekend there seems to be a different group of cars.
Okay. Anything else from anyone on the board? No. Thanks. We'll ask the applicant to answer some of those questions, and then also, is it operating currently as a short-term lease?
So Mr. Sova bought the property in, I believe, March. It was in the spring. I believe we finished our remodel and such in May. I believe that there has been some guests in there. I can't say whether they're short-term or not. I know she was going to advertise it as a short-term rental. My only role now is to pull the trash out on Tuesdays. I will say, actually, and she's 100% right about the parking in the street, that there are no parking signs there. I grew up in Quail Creek, and that's the first street I'd ever seen that had no parking signs on it. And so I will admit that I was guilty of parking in the street while I would be working there during the day until I finally saw the parking sign that was literally 4 feet in front of me. So I apologize.
Anything from the board on this? I know you're reading there's quite a few protests that are written.
Yes, sir.
So they hired you as the contractor for the property, but they're also having you manage just the trash?
Yeah, so I've got several short backgrounds similar to the item number 24 on the agenda. There's a national design company called Summerled Designs that has advised clients to purchase properties here in Oklahoma, and they have spent an inordinate amount of money on the interior design and setup of these properties in terms of furniture and saunas outside and putt-putt greens, and I'm obviously speaking on very different properties. And they got hooked up with my real estate agent, who then got hooked up with me. So I'm essentially the local contact for all of these different homeowners who are all in various stages along the way that are going through this. So I did the contracting on the inside, which most of it was just paint, wallpaper, and then put furniture together. And then I'm kind of the local contact for, handyman repairs when something happens, taking the trash out. On some properties, we have a cleaning service as well that does the cleaning. And then, just general things like that. Yeah. And I own and operate 6 Airbnbs here in the Oklahoma City and the Village already, so I'm familiar with the process, et cetera.
I would encourage you to share your information with
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Ms.
sorry,
Crooks for sure, and then also maybe answer these emails with.
Yeah, I
with
believe
Alicia.
Ms. DeSova and I actually spoke, I believe it was earlier this week, it might have been late last week, and she actually asked me, should I respond to these emails now? And I said to her, I was like, well, I don't know, why don't we go to the hearing first and then go from there.
Is she local?
She's not local, no.
And you don't know if she has plans to hire a property manager for the property?
So she is doing the property manager, or I believe she intends to do the property managing in terms of leasing and things of that nature. I would consider myself the property manager for local issues, like I said, handyman. There was a water main break, I believe, or something a couple of weeks ago that I was called on, and I spoke to one neighbor who was across the street. You know, that kind of thing. Somebody broke the internet router one night, you know, those kind of things.
I'm a little torn. I think I want to be consistent. It seems like if the property's been operating without a license, that we need to be consistent with that. That being said, we're not sure it has or hasn't been. The applicant isn't here to say whether or not it's actually being leased out. It sure sounds like from what we just heard that
Sure.
it may be, and that's the sentiment that's reflected in some of the emails that were submitted as well. So,
I don't know what the status of the people who have been in the property so far. Again, we only finished our remodel about a month, 2 months ago. I know she has started the application process. Knowing her, as I've gotten to know her, my guess is she would have thought whatever she was doing, she was allowed to do with the application being in process. She's a CEO of a big company out there. I mean, she's a rule follower, I guess you know the way to put it. You know, I don't know how to express that other than any way than that. I think whatever she would be doing, she would think she's following the steps she needs to follow.
But how do you square that with your saying that you've been going in and pulling the trash out every Tuesday?
Oh no, ma'am. I'm not saying that hasn't been people there. I just, again, since I'm not the one that is signing them up to come in the property, I don't know what the terms that they're in there for, if they're in there for a week or 2 weeks or a month or what. I'm just, you know, when she started this whole process and it was like she was going to make it a short-term rental, you know, I just essentially had advertised the service that I provide for other people that, hey, we go handle the trash, we do the lawns, we do all that kind of thing. Would you like me to do that for you? Yes.
But then once again, to clarify, you were not officially the property manager.
Oh,
Is
no,
that
ma'am.
correct? Okay, thank you.
No, property maintenance, I guess would be a better term for me.
Does it sound like it's been going? Does not sound like it's been going on for a long time. So I'm inclined to just continue it for 2 months and have them come back.
I'd like to see a property manager,
Okay.
especially with an owner that's out of state.
Okay. I mean, I think she would be agreeable to that. I know that her realtor that advised her to the property, that is obviously how I got involved in the property, also does property management. So I think that would be a pretty easy, an easy solution. So yeah, that's
And
not a problem.
with that said, I'm looking at the application. You've got 4 rooms. She was asking for 15 guests. I think that just let her know. I think 9 guests is the maximum that she's going to get.
Yeah, so I told her that I thought that was a generous ask, I guess would be the way to put it. She does have this property set up for like children's game, or not, you know, like ball teams or whatever. There's 2 sets of bunk beds in an upstairs room, so that would be 4, and they're actually queen-size bunk bed, or full-size bunk beds, excuse me. The master bedroom has 2 king-size beds. Okay. But there is sleeping for the number of guests that she did.
And
request
you
for.
probably did hear me before, with a single-family home in the
Oh,
middle
no,
of mid-block.
Again, I
you know.
have no problem with anything you all suggest. I just was going to add that it is
So
more beds than you would think.
Unfortunately, the ordinance says 2 per bedroom, right? So
2
we've
per
got
bedroom, okay.
2 per bedroom, not per bed.
Understand.
So, and then we've got a plus 1 or 2, and we kind of vary that depending on whether or not it's an initial versus a renewal.
Right.
So I would let her know as to, right now it's looking like it's going to be 9 guests for that. But I would be inclined to just continue it and then give her time to find a property manager. And I'm willing to go to the first, I guess, October 2nd. Is our, right? Is that correct? All right. So I'm going to make a motion to continue case number 16013 to the October 2nd, 2025 meeting.
And I'm going to suggest you not short-term lease this between now and then.
I was getting ready to ask you that question after y'all voted. Well, I got a follow-up question, but I'll let y'all vote.
Oh, I'll second.
And to the young lady that was here protesting, you can definitely be during this time. They're coming back on October 2nd. You can be a set of eyes as to whether or not rules are being followed. So no short-term rentals during that time. And if you do see it, there is a hotline that you can call and report that.
The City Action Center. We have a motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes. So it's deferred till October.
Just one question. So, and I don't know the answer to this from her perspective. What if she already has commitments for the next couple of months, whether they're short-term or to a furnished lease? I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm asking.
It's totally up to you. I mean, you heard what we said, so.
Yeah. Okay.
That she'd have to reach out to them. If she wants to stay compliant, she'd have to reach out to them and make other arrangements.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Item number 29, case number 15968 was withdrawn. Item number 30, case number 15961 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Nicholas Reynolds to allow home sharing at 11720 Northwest 136 Terrace.
Hello, I'm William Burleson, here on behalf of Hannah and Nicholas Reynolds for home sharing, special exception for home sharing for 11720 Northwest 136 Terrace. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So we're asking for 6, and there's plenty of off-street parking available, including the garage. 4 spots.
Okay, nobody has signed up to speak on this. Is there anybody from the audience want to speak on this application? No. Anything from the board?
Did you say 6 guests?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But we would take 7 if you do the 3 or 2 per bedroom plus 1.
Do you have sofa bed?
Do you have adequate beds to sleep 7?
It would be, we have 3 beds and then a pull-out couch.
Okay. 4-car maximum?
Yes.
Yes.
Quiet hours?
I don't think I had it listed in here, but I will.
You'd be okay with 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.?
9 to 8, yes.
A term of 1 year?
We ready?
Ready.
All right, motion to approve case number 15961 for the purpose that it meets statutory requirements for the special exception, and I can't talk, with the following modifications. Maximum number of guests shall be 7, 4-car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours. Quiet hours are from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. and for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Vote when available. And it passes.
Item number 31, case number 15962 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Stephen Earl to allow home sharing located at 11109 Southwest 34th Terrace.
William Burleson, 3000 East Britain, here for the special exception for 1109 Southwest 34th Terrace. 3-bed, 2-bath, asking 6 on this one. I believe that's it.
Are you the property manager on these, or
Yes.
do you own the properties?
I'm property manager.
Okay. And you're asking for 6 on this one?
Yes.
The application says 8, so.
Yeah, that was incorrect.
Nobody has signed up to speak. Does anyone from the audience want to speak on this application?
How many cars?
We can handle 6, but there's 6 people, so 4.
That's fine. It's a big driveway, but we won't need more than 4 probably.
it's been a year since we haven't had this special exception. I don't have any evidence showing that you guys were renting it during this time, but it will be for 1 year. But I just want to make that point that out. So, all right, then I'll make a motion to approve case number 15962 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. This shall be for a term of 1 year. Maximum number of guests shall be 6. Quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. 4-car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, vote when available. And it passes.
Item number 32, case number 15963 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Kelly Fasterling to allow home sharing located at 10320 Lightning.
Getting ready. William Burleson, 3000 East Britain, for the special exception for 20 Lightning Creek Drive. This is a 5-bed, 2-bath, 4 bedrooms. Down below, there's a large bonus room up top that is furnished with a bed and TV. So, asking for 10 on this one.
There's somebody signed up to speak on this one. I'd like to hear from them. Donna Andrews.
Yes. I'm the property owner.
Can you just start with your name and address?
Donna Andrews. My address is 10316 Lightning Creek Drive. I live to the south of this house. They have been renting it for 2 years out to various people. We've had construction workers there with large trucks. They don't park them in the driveway. They park them in the street. We have complained to the property management company about this. We have HOA rules that there's no street parking overnight. The people they rent to do not follow our HOA rules. They have not maintained their property, the grass, they let it grow. And they've had, the county assessor lists this as a 3-bedroom home. And they've had, on occasion, 8-10 people in this house. I know there is a bonus room upstairs. That's a large room that was used for an office. I knew the people that owned it before it was sold to this person from Colorado. The homeowner's not in state. We don't want short-term rentals, and we are working with our board to try to get our bylaws amended to restrict short-term rentals to our addition, so that we cannot so that we don't have to go through this again. We don't feel like we're a small community. The playground's across the street. We don't know what kind of people come in when they're coming in out of state, working short-term jobs. There, we have kids. I just don't feel that there's no place for them to park. It's a short street. The street's not very wide. You can park up a car, you can get by, sure. But if they park 2 cars, which they did at times when they had it rented to a family that was local for a couple months, they had 6 cars. So they had nowhere else to park. They block our mailbox, they block our driveway. So I really would request that you deny this application for
Special exception.
for short-term rental.
You said that they've leased the property out. Do you know if any of those times that they've leased the property out, were those for periods for less than 30 days?
Oh, there were more from 30 days.
Were
Well, some of them were less. Some of them, they might be there 5, 10 days. Some of them were there 6 months. Some of them were there 2 months, I think. They might be there a month. There's no, you never knew who was renting or there were people, I mean, they were just coming and going and you never knew what was going on.
Okay.
And I just don't, I can't feel safe with somebody. I want somebody that I know that will watch after my property and not people just coming and going whenever.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? There's one more person signed up. Mac.
Hi, my name is Mark Cortell. My address is 10324 Lightning Creek Drive. I'm to the house to the north of the house in question. My biggest problem has been the all hours of people coming and going. Like my neighbor has said, the construction workers. Got a playground across the street. With people coming and going, I've got 2 dogs that have got the run of the yard and the run of the house 24/7. And when they know my neighbors, so they don't bark. When we have an influx of people coming through, my dogs go off, telling me there's something wrong. And there's been sometimes questionable things going on next door, but that's a different story. I am not for short-term rentals in my neighborhood because of this. Now, I've used them when I've gone on vacation to Florida and such, but it was on a main thoroughfare right off the beach. But he can say what he wants to say. I've spoke to the woman that owns the house because I've did some research and got her phone number. At one time, there was a large hole in the parkway, and I was pouring concrete in my backyard, and I stepped back and fell into that hole. And I told her about it, and I told the maintenance people about it that fill it up. And then I fell in that hole at that time. They don't keep the yard up. Yeah, I'm ashamed to live next to that piece of property. The grass is almost brown. So I'm not in favor of that house continuing to be a short-term rental. Thank you.
Thanks. Any questions? If you could answer, some
Yeah, I'll answer as much as I can remember, and then you can ask me more questions. We do send a lawn company out there every week. The house is very nice. I understand, I'm not calling you liars. I will verify that.
Just talk to us,
I will
please.
verify that. But we do for all of our properties. We have a lot of properties. And I will say, all of our properties are midterm rentals until we get a special permit or whatever. That's the majority of our bookings, even after we have the permit. We just get the permit to fill in gaps where needed. This property, starting in October 24, had 140-night booking. It's had 32-night booking, 34-night booking, and a 45-night booking throughout the past year. So I understand how it could seem. People are coming and going, but they weren't short-term rentals. Also, to my knowledge, we've never received any complaints about the house, or we would address it immediately. Occasionally, we do get complaints, and we're on it as soon as possible. So we would be happy to take care of any issues any neighbors have. And again, I will definitely look at the lawn because if you look at our house online, it's very nice, very fixed up, very classy. People want to come stay there. So I would be surprised if the lawn was bad, but if it is, we will get that taken care of for sure.
Anything else from the board? Make a quick mark, please.
Mark Cortell again. He sugarcoated it. That yard is a brown mess. Yeah, he does have a lawn maintenance guy come by. Sometimes all he does is just weed eat. or edge. He won't run his lawnmower because it's not tall enough to run. I have a really large problem with that piece of property because the way the yards were graded, I get flooded in my backyard to where I've got 2 inches of water after these storms all the time. I have addressed that with Kelly. I spoke to her personally, and nothing's been done. Yeah, he's sugarcoating. Everybody's got to say he's doing what he's getting paid to do. I live there. And Donna and Mike live there. And neighbors up and down the house, the 2 doors either way, feel the same we do. We don't want that piece of property as a short-term rental because they're not keeping it up to the neighborhood standards. You know, you're all welcome to drive into our neighborhood, look at my nice green yard, her nice green yard, and see that brown mess. They had a tree out front that died and never replaced it, part of the HOA. They still got busted up concrete down the side of the house. There's no grass growing down that mess. There's no sprinkler system. They do have a playground set that the previous owners put in, but should be taken down. But we don't need this kind of management or people from out of state having a piece of property that in my neighborhood. It doesn't meet our standards. And like Donna said, we are working to get our HOA rules to cover no short-term rentals whatsoever in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thanks. Anything else from the board?
So it looks to me like on the one of the websites that there was reviews going back to November of 23. A short-term rental is not required unless you rent out the property for less than 30 days. With that said, I'm looking on here, and in May of 2025, 2 different reviews were left in that same month, which tells me there's a violation there. Same thing in February of 2025. Can you explain any of that?
Does it say like when they stayed or just the date of the review?
That's just the date of the review.
I mean, I don't know about that specifically. 2 reviews in 1 month doesn't necessarily mean that they stayed at that time. I don't know.
But it is listed on Airbnb. It is being marketed on Airbnb.
Yes.
And it's only being marketed.
And this one, not correction, this one's on Area L HomeAway.
A Real HomeAway. That's
VRBO.
the company name. Yeah.
Is in your listing, do you specify whether or not it's short-term rental or that a minimum of 30 days is required?
Yeah, I believe a minimum 30 days.
That's in the listing?
Is listed. I don't know where, I don't do the booking, but that's, I mean, we understand the rules.
I can't hear what you said, sir.
I really haven't said.
You have to come up to the mic. It's 30 days is the threshold for a short-term rental.
I was reading when city passed the ordinance for the short-term rentals, that it was 10 days or less.
No, it's 30.
30 days or less?
30 days.
They didn't check the website.
It has to be less than 30 days. So if you own your home and you lease it short-term for more than 10 days, you still have to get a special exception. So that's the part you were reading.
Okay, that's the part I was reading. All right, I just knew I read that 10 days and they have rented it. I don't think that it's been empty very long since she bought it 2 years ago. She bought it in August of 23.
Okay.
And I don't think there's a time that, more than a week, that it's been vacant.
And there's,
By
in
different
the
people.
advertising, it does say you get bonus if you stay over 30 days, right? So there is that.
I'm willing to continue it to verify, understand, because that's the only thing that it hinges on for me. If the house has been leased as a short-term rental, then we need to be consistent with what we've done previously. If it's not, and there's just confusion, and these have been rentals that have all been in excess of 30 days, I don't want to penalize somebody for breaking a rule that they haven't broken.
Correct.
I can get a hold of the OG&A guy that stayed there for 6 months because his house was being renovated.
Which is legal, okay? So if it's over 30 days, that is legal.
It's legal, they don't need a permit?
They do not need a permit. If it's over 30 days, no permit is necessary.
It's only if they say under
30
10
days.
days.
Under 30.
Or under 30 days.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of them that don't say 30 days. They stay a week, and they're gone.
Thanks. Mr. Donaldson, would you be willing to defer this for 2 weeks for us? Just so we can verify some of what's been said?
Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna verify? Like, what are we doing?
That'll be up to us, I guess.
Yeah.
I can physically go by there and at least look at it.
Yeah. No one's in there currently. There's a flood in one of the rooms, and I don't know when they'll be in there. So I don't know what 2 weeks gonna do. You know, we have it listed as 30-day minimum on our website.
Correction says
Yeah, I don't think
you
it
get a
says that.
bonus if it's at least 30,
Yeah.
if it's over 30 days. It does not say minimum 30 days.
Right.
Okay.
I just think it would help us as a board to at least look into it a little deeper, just because there are protests and what they have to say.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also here getting the permit for this reason. I don't know.
Do you have, the listing is live now? The Airbnb listing is live now?
Should be.
Do you have the listing?
I mean, I would just have to Google it. I don't know.
But you're managing the property currently?
Yeah, I mean, I get on our apps on my computer, but I don't have it on my phone.
That's fine. I just suggested 2-week deferral.
Okay, what do you want me to bring back?
I mean, if you want to bring back the listing log, that would be great.
Okay.
Anything else? I mean, I think we can.
Yeah, just showing what listings you've had.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's up to us to do our diligence.
Yeah. Okay.
And just look into, like I said, what they've protested about.
And
I usually hit every single one of these, and I did not get this pretty far back into the deal. And there's 30 plus this time, so I did not go by this property.
Yeah, and I'll go
like
back
to.
to, but I mean, I don't know if brown grass is a complaint.
That wouldn't defer me in one way or another.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think the city has a special set of resources and tools that they can use for short-term rentals. And so what we can do to lift some of the burden from you is go down that avenue. They have a direct liaison with Airbnb that they give out to municipalities, so we can make a request to find out if Airbnb will share that information with staff.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to continue case number 15963 to the August 21st, 2025 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote when available.
How long did you continue that?
Till the 21st, August 21st. 3 more, I don't know if I can do it.
Item number 33, application, case number 15964 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Scanthony Holding Group LLC to allow home sharing 8316 Northwest 142nd Street.
William Burleson, 3000 East Britain, special exception for 8316 Northwest 142nd, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, asking for 7. There's a big driveway, so however many cars you think we can have.
Nobody had signed up to speak on this case. There's no one in the audience.
There was one email in opposition. You did receive that?
Yes, sir.
Anything else from the board on this one?
Talk about people, cars. Seven guests, quiet hours, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4 car max, no on-street parking. Those are my suggestions. So for the 2 times 3 rooms plus the 1 on the first application. So just to let you know, we're doing 7 people on this one.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Motion to approve case number 15964 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements. For the special exceptions with the following modifications, maximum number of people shall be 7, 4 car maximum, no quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. and no on-street parking during quiet hours.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It passes.
Item number 34, case number 15965 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of David and Kimberly Faber to allow home sharing, 3613 Upland Ridge Drive.
William Burleson, 3000 East Britton, for a special exception for 3613 Upland Ridge Drive, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, asking 7.
All right. Same thing on this one, first time, and I'm not sure if I stated 1 year on that last one or not, but I think that was what the application was for. So it's in conformity with the 1 year. Same thing on this one, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 7 guests, because it's the first time. I'm presuming these are 2 bathrooms on this one?
2.5.
2.5, okay. So we're good there. 4 car maximum and no on-street parking. So again, pretty much same modifications as the last one on this one. All right, so Emily Kay is back. Motion to approve case number 15965 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modification. Maximum number of guests shall be 7. Quiet hours shall be from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. 4 car maximum, no on-street parking during quiet hours for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
Okay, that was approved. Item number 35, case number 15966 is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Jera and Ray Chambers to allow home sharing at 1601 Northwest 34th Street.
Would you please note that Member Noble stepped out? Thank you.
All right. Name and address for the
William
last time.
Burleson, 3000 East Britton.
All right.
1601 Northwest 34th, 3-bed, 2-bath. Asking for 4 parking spots and 6 or 7.
7 guests. All right. Pretty much looking at this the same. Do you feel comfortable you can fit 4 cars in there?
Yeah, they could fit. It's a little bit weird, but there is room for 4.
All right, so I'm going to make, obviously, as the other ones, I'm going to make a note for no on-street parking on this one either. There's no one signed up on this one. Any questions, comments from the board before I make a motion? All right, I'll make a motion to approve case number 15966 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the following modifications. Maximum number of people shall be 7, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4 car maximum, and no on-street parking during quiet hours for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're approved.
Item number 36 was continued to August 21st. Item number 37 was continued to August 21st. Item number 38 was continued till September 18th. Number 39 was continued indefinitely.
Okay, I guess I'll wrap up the meeting. There's no additional items on the board, no citizens to be heard appearing in the waiting area here. And do we have to get a motion to adjourn? I forgot. No motion to adjourn. Okay, then we're adjourned. We're good to go. All right.